Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Camp Hustle One here, back with another live stream. Apologize for being late, guys. Yeah, had to update my NVIDIA drivers. Couldn't start my OBS without doing that. So, yes, guys. So, welcome back. Welcome back. We are here, and yeah, I've basically been doing a lot of work to behind the scenes to basically figure out what my next path is after the book, because you guys, as you know, that was a thing that was a long time coming, and I'm glad that I finally got that out of the way. But we have some more things that we need to talk about now. It seems like now that the book is done, I have now thought of more things to add to the book. So maybe I need to possibly come out with a second edition. Maybe maybe call it the King James version. I don't know. I don't want to wait 400 years for the next version to come out. But maybe if I gather probably enough to, I don't know, add maybe another 27 pages, maybe come out with the second edition. But yeah, starting with a few of the controversies and lies and stuff, I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into that I didn't really touch on in the book. One of the major stories was the basketball story that Fresh would like to bring up as part of a way to have credibility, to say that, he belongs in the red pill space because he was able to sleep with 3 women in one night or one day. And because he was invited to that mansion party. And, I don't understand how it was a flex to say that, I slept with, some girls that I didn't have to really work for. They were just chosen by a basketball player, which, we're going to get to the bottom of who the basketball player is, because that was one of the questions I posed on Reddit today. I wanted to kind of really do some detective work and see where did this lie come from. And I stumbled upon a couple things that were very interesting. So, but the first clip we're going to go through is this podcast by Matan. He had Fresh and Fit on his podcast, and he confronted them for a few of their lies. And we're gonna go ahead and jump into it. Hope you guys enjoy. Let me know if the audio is good. Well, let's get into it.
For today's guest, we have Fresh and Fit, otherwise known as Myron in Coconuts. For today's co-host, please welcome in my man.
I love how Matan is like carrying on the coconuts thing from the podcast. I can't remember the guy's name. What was the guy's name? Oh man, I'm already drawing a blank already. Ethan Klein. Yeah, Ethan Klein coining the term coconuts in Barbados.
Manager Vara Flooring, you guys can all come in now.
What's up, man?
Thanks for coming in.
I'm also a huge fan of Breaking Bad, so I love that his manager is dressed up as Hector Salamanca. That's a really nice touch.
What's up? How you doing, bro?
Thanks for coming.
Oh my god.
Please welcome in my manager Vara Flooring to come in now.
Sunflower seeds, I like it.
You feeling in nice here?
Yeah, it's kind of cramped. What's up with this nigga, bro?
Alright, let me see here.
What the fuck?
Squeeze in. Can I get some sunflower seeds? You share? Come on, man.
What does he talk?
Who?
So bad, bro.
The guy in the red, my manager Vara Flooring.
You gotta share, bro. Be a good host, man.
Vara Flooring?
Yeah.
He's my manager. I can't talk on his behalf. Okay, let's start. Just in case anybody doesn't know you guys, please introduce yourselves. Tell them a little bit about and all that one.
I think it's funny how Myron went straight for the sunflower seeds. Like, come on, dude. Like, you got to share. It's like, maybe he's sick. Maybe he didn't want to share. Maybe it was, all for the bit. But I thought it was kind of funny how he went straight for those sunflower seeds and just like, dude, come on now. Like, what are you holding on to him for? You need to share. Be a good host. It's kind of weird. But no, I like how this setup. How Matan has his mic. Fresh doesn't have a mic. And Myron has a mic. It's really subtly funny. I like it.
You go ahead, Fresh.
Wait, he has a mic, so you go.
I forgot to bring him a mic.
You go ahead.
He didn't forget. That was very good. Very well played.
Okay. Myron Gaines, one half of the Fresh Fit podcast. Happy to be here. Thanks for having us, Matan.
What about you? You could just talk. The mic will pick up on it.
Yeah, I'm fresh. Other half of Fresh and Fit, and this is kind of weird, but not lie. Is that straw in his fucking nasal path? Is that a straw?
No, it's a breathing mechanism.
What the fuck? Okay.
Do you guys call yourselves red pillars because you tried eating a red pill a homeless guy gave you that had a virus in it?
Myron just spitting these seeds out, like it's very disrespectful. I guess we can't see the floor. We can't see if there's already sunflower seeds on the floor for him to be contributing to the pile. But yeah, that's kind of wild.
No, that's not what we call ourselves, red pill.
What? Let's hear it from him. Can you stop eating the seeds? Because you're the only one here with a mic besides me.
Well, because he gave me some.
Just give it back to him.
Or it's kind of spent though.
No, the other one's in your hand. Just just put it back
these
in his
two?
bag. Yeah.
That'd be kind of unsanitary though, right?
No, because you didn't put them in your mouth yet.
All right.
So he took the seed out of his mouth and he just threw it on the floor. He wiped it on his pants, I guess.
The one in your mouth, just leave it down. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, bro. He wants the seeds back in there. They're gonna get infected.
Well, now they're definitely going to get infected.
So what was the question? Something about red pill?
We'll move on. Well, this one's for you, Coconut. Who is more famous, Donald Trump or Chicken McNugget?
Oh, by far, chicken McNugget, bro.
Or why is that?
Because without the McNugget, you won't have Trump.
Why is that?
What came first?
Probably,
The McNugget.
possibly. I'm not sure. It's
So,
probably
by
pretty
definition,
close.
Chicken and the egg. Nugget first, then the egg, which is Trump. I got you.
That doesn't make any sense. I mean, he's a
Doesn't have
human.
to. It doesn't have to.
So what's the logic behind that?
There's none.
No logic?
Just common sense.
Just common sense. Okay. If given
Not funny. Sorry, Fresh. I get that you were trying to be funny there. That was not funny. I'm sorry, bro. Got to work on that.
the option, should somebody save your lives or a big bag of rocks and shit?
This one's for me.
Yeah.
The rocks and shit, of course.
Why is that?
Probably more nice,
Nice?
more polite than we are.
You guys aren't
Less
polite?
offensive. Less offensive.
Less offensive?
Yes.
And why are you guys, what does that mean?
Well, people get mad at us for some of our political takes or some things that we say about certain things.
Now, I'm not super familiar, so when I say this, I'm not quoting something specific, but are you guys saying what you believe in or saying what makes you money?
What we believe in, which loses us money,
It loses you money?
for sure.
How does that make any sense?
Well, the truth nowadays is something that gets censored quite a bit, and it's very difficult to tell the truth without, dealing with some financial consequences to a degree.
Yeah, but if you guys weren't saying what you thought is the truth, which is what your audience believes in, then you wouldn't have an audience and you would lose more money.
You can make that argument, but the reality is you make more by lying and appealing to the mainstream audience than telling the truth. And
Yeah, there's probably a higher ceiling, but I mean, I feel it's much harder to get there most likely. Like, I mean, what are you guys gonna do? Put you guys in a comedy movie?
Well, that's one path, yeah.
You see that?
A comedy movie parodying Fresh and Fit would be funny. I did hear that there was possibly going to be some red pill radio stations in GTA 6. I think that would be pretty funny to see if they do a parody of the Fresh and Fit podcast. That'd be really funny, actually. Pretty easy just to, imitate Walter, have like a stuttering co-host, and then have another guy that's like completely red pill raging. I think it would be pretty easy to pull off.
That's not gonna work. That's gonna be a disaster, which is why this seems like the safer route.
It depends, but the point is that being more mainstream and more neutral is obviously better for mainstream appeal, which can obviously lead to a higher ceiling for making money. But for us, we'd rather just keep it real. If we lose money, it is what it is.
Keep it real, and I mean, I could see some logic behind that. I mean, you could, if you guys didn't want to do content, you could probably run experiments and see what's going on with his brain.
Yeah, is he okay?
I love how Matan is talking about Fresh's brain, and then Fresh, he's like completely disengaged from this entire conversation. He's just completely focused on the guy in the center playing Hector Salamanca. He's just like, he wants to figure him out. He wants to understand why he's not speaking. He's basically just ringing a bell. He doesn't know anything about the character of Hector Salamanca. So he's just weirded out. and he can't focus. And I mean, you can just see it all the way up into this. It's pretty funny. I mean, Walter has a goldfish brain. We already know this. He can't focus, and that's why it's very hard for him to tell any type of story because it's just he gets distracted so easily.
Who?
This nigga right here, bro.
My manager, Var Flooring?
This nigga right here.
Your friend?
This nigga's like vibrating.
Now, between you two, if only one of you could be successful, who would it be?
This is a pretty good hypothetical question, and it's very interesting what both of these guys say.
I'd say Fresh, man.
You?
Yeah.
Why do you agree with him or no?
I mean, in different ways, yeah.
No, only one has to be successful. The other will become a bum.
I'm not about to be broke, so.
Fresh, yeah.
Oh, so him. He'll be the loser?
Nah, I'm not loser, just.
No. Well, I said bum. I mean, loser's less harsh, actually, I would say.
I don't think that Fresh has the mental capacity to engage with this question, this hypothetical, because he cannot see anything beyond reality. So asking, like, would you rather be successful and the other guy be broke? He's only thinking about the current right now. And he's just like, I have to have money in any scenario. And who cares about my good friend and stuff like that. He doesn't really want. I don't think he's just very singular minded. Like he will be successful with Myron, and if Myron ends up being completely canceled off of all platforms, and maybe can't even guest star on Fresh Start, whatever with Fresh, I would think Fresh will leave him out to dry. This is pretty much what he's talking about right now.
I like making money, bro, so probably me.
I'd be the bum.
You would be the bum?
Yeah, I don't believe in luxury items anyway.
I don't mean necessarily luxury. I mean just one of you is a homeless bum and the other one is takes over the podcast, I guess.
I'd be fine with it.
You would let him be successful?
Yeah.
And why is that? Why are you so selfless?
I think I think a lot of material things are scams.
No, but it doesn't have to be material. I mean, you don't want to live in a box, right?
Well, that's a part of being material to a degree.
Sure, but
I think
again,
I think I'd do better with it. Is what I'd say. Like it would suck. It'd be uncomfortable.
He doesn't have the emotional capacity for that. You're saying?
No, not at all.
He does.
Yeah, see, this is the truth right here. What Myron just said is that Fresh does not have the emotional capacity to be broke, to be on the streets, and even in a hypothetical situation, to be able to handle that. So in any situation, whether it's reality or hypothetical, Fresh has to be making money, successful, and all this stuff, or it's just there's no giving up. So
Doesn't.
No, I'm not.
He's not at all. He doesn't have it at all.
I'm not saying that.
He
I'm
said
saying
you don't have it at all. You're
I'm more
not emotionally.
I'm more comfortable with less.
He's giving you a
material.
dirty look because he knows you're insulting him. Why are you insulting him? Don't.
yeah, see, Fresh, he can't focus on the conversation. He's just completely enthralled with this guy in the center here.
Put it now that you're looking at this guy. You're insulting. He's insulting you. I don't think that's cool. You guys are a partnership here. I said he doesn't have the emotional capacity for that. He goes, not at all.
No, I've said as in not at all, as in like you're not correct about that.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
You said.
That's fine if you interpret it that way.
Don't try to act like that's not what you said a moment ago.
I think you're interpreting it incorrectly.
I'm not interpreting it
Good save. Good save.
incorrect. Okay, reformat your sentence then. We'll try again.
What the fuck is going on right now, bro?
What's the
Oh, so let's count how many times Fresh says "what the fuck." That's gonna be the first little tally mark here. He says that a lot in this podcast. So I think I did mention when you could basically condense all of Fresh's contributions to the podcast to 4 buttons on the Stream Deck. I believe the third button would have been the "what the fuck" thing that he always says. So let's just count how many times he says "what the fuck." That's number one.
question again? We can go through it again.
If he has emotional capacity to be a bum, like you are claiming that you would have, you said you would handle it better, implying that you have a better emotional strength than him.
No, for me, I'm already kind of like a minimalist, so for me it wouldn't matter as much.
So where do you live?
I have an apartment. Or a condo.
Apartment. But you would rather live there than a box, yeah?
Well, I mean, in this situation where you're saying one of us be poor and one of us not, I'll let him be the rich one and the successful one.
Why do you choose that though?
Because like I said before, like for me, I'm cool with less material things.
Okay, fine. I think that's the best answer I'm gonna.
Yeah, Myron is able to engage with the hypothetical because he knows in reality he's not really going to be broke or the bum or anything like that. So I think it's pretty telling how just the intelligence gap between Fresh and Myron is that Fresh for some reason just could not comprehend the hypothetical, and he's just only in reality. It's kind of like how when they're talking to girls and trying to be like, hey, take yourself out of it and just engage with the hypothetical. And Fresh has just showed us that he can't engage with it, and he's very singular minded, and it's all about him. And I think he really doesn't care about Myron in the same way that Myron cares about Fresh. I think he needs him to be active on the podcast. He needs him to be there and show up and stuff like that so they can continue making money and everything, because we all know that Fresh cannot carry Fresh and Fit on his own. He needs Myron to be there.
Get. Who would win in a fight between your mother and your father?
What the fuck?
Fresh,
All right, that's number 2.
I think would have a better answer for this one.
My mom, because my dad is dead.
Oh, sorry about that. So now we have to go over to you because that was a sad answer.
That's another one. Another what the fuck.
My dad would definitely win
Why is that?
because he's the man, and women are.
And this is another, question. This is another hypothetical that Fresh can't, he can't engage with, even though his father has passed on or whatever. He can't engage with the hypothetical, like if your mother and father got into a life or death fight, who would win? I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of shows like the intelligence level here.
Are inferior.
What type of shot? How could he take that? I mean, I agree. He probably would win.
Yeah.
But what's he gonna do? What's his best move?
Probably the Arab slap. You know what I mean?
But that's not gonna be a knockout. It might be a knockdown.
Yeah. I think she'd stay down.
Stay down.
That's another what the fuck.
Why is that?
Because she wouldn't want to get slapped again.
Yeah, but this is a brawl. This is they're
She would give
fighting to kill each other.
She would give up.
Well, she wouldn't, because it's either she dies or he dies.
She'd give up.
Then he's gonna go and beat her down. So she has to get up.
He'd probably slap her again.
Are you guys the same type of black?
I swear, man, we could totally just replace Walter with a button. This is 5 times already. It's not even 10 minutes already. He said the same thing.
Get out of here, bro. Yo, bro, you're funny, man.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm black. He's like sand black.
What does that mean? You're Arabic? Is he what he's saying?
Yeah.
One was born in sand. One was born
Where is his parents born?
in Sudan.
Yeah.
Sudan?
Yeah.
Is that in Africa or? That's not a joke. I'm trying to map out where that is.
Yeah, it's directly under.
I'm trying to understand what's funny about that to Fresh when he said, is that in Africa? He could have just said yes. I don't understand why he's laughing at him.
Egypt. Yeah.
Do you even talk?
He's the manager, bro. Well, he eats the sunflower seeds.
Well, Fresh, this is like really rich coming from him, because Fresh used to sit on the podcast and not say anything. Now that he's like in this I'm going to contribute arc, now he's trying to point out other people when he doesn't. This is an obvious joke that, yeah, you have people who are managers / CEOs / owners, whatever, that are just silent partners that just sit there on the podcast and just they're on camera. They're on camera, but they're not speaking. This is very, very brilliant of Matan here. And Fresh, for some reason, doesn't understand. He doesn't get it.
Which actually is a very Arab thing.
Well, he's he's from there. I don't know which one, but yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's Arab.
I've asked him, but he didn't give me an answer.
Yeah, we call it tisali in Arabic.
And then where are you from? What your parents?
Barbados.
Barbados.
Coconuts.
Oh, coconuts. So how did that story happen? Because I saw a clip of that, which is why I'm referring to you as coconut.
Well, some haters thought it was funny because I'm from the islands of coconuts.
No, I don't know. I know that somebody made fun of you for it, but when I only saw the original clip from your show, and I don't remember the exact context. But
Fresh isn't even listening to him. He's just like so concerned with the guy in the middle, man. It's like, come on, Fresh.
But he was talking about something, and then you just mentioned that you liked picking coconuts.
Yeah. My hobby back home was to pick coconuts.
Yeah, but why did you mention that? That would be like in the middle of me talking right now.
It's totally random. I know.
Yeah, but you weren't joking. I mean, you were looking for a response to when you asked that.
Really?
That's what it seemed like. I mean, I guess I'm speaking on your behalf, but
I was trolling.
you were trolling.
Yeah.
Oh my god, another I was trolling moment. We know that that's like his go-to for whenever he says any fuck shit that he has to be accountable for. That's just yeah.
No, you weren't. Well, let's move on. Do you think the cure to depression is to eat a small ball of rotting meat?
Yo, dude, what the fuck is this, man?
All right, that's another one. Another what the fuck.
Albert Einstein said that.
You would think that Fresh would have done some research before going on this podcast to know like Matan's like his whole angle. You know, it's like he is funny, but he's dry, and you know he's a very bright kid. He's like 17 years old, but he calls out like OnlyFans girls, and you know he asks pretty thought provoking questions. He's a very bright kid for being so young, but he is funny at the same time.
The one that died?
Yeah, he's been dead. Yeah.
Albert Einstein, the one that died? Come on, Fresh.
I don't know, man. But probably.
I would say the cure to depression is not being a pussy.
Yeah, but I saw one clip. I think it was from Albert Stein. He said that if you eat a small ball of rotting meat with viruses in it, it will go into your stomach and create acid and stuff. And then,
Cure depression?
I don't know the log. Yeah, that's what he said. I don't know his logic behind it, but that's what he claimed.
I've never heard of it.
Do you think he's right or wrong?
I guess there's only one way to find out. Someone's got to like try it.
You
Hey.
do it.
Varfloring?
Yeah, you eat it, bro.
Yeah,
But he's not depressed. I mean, look at him. He's smiling. He's happy.
he does seem pretty happy.
Yeah, that's the happiest guy I know.
How old are you? I never mind. Yo, is he good, bro?
My manager, Varfloring?
No, I feel weird being next to this guy, bro. He's moving too. What the fuck?
Or have either of you guys ever been depressed?
I think everyone's experienced sadness, but you
Oh,
know,
so you I don't believe it exists either, if that's what you're trying to
depression.
I think we know that Fresh was probably depressed during the whole Daisy saga, okay? When she had that whole hold over him of whether she was pregnant or she wasn't, and whether it was his kid or not, and the thought of possibly taking him to court for child support and all that stuff, and then the podcast being hanging in the balance because he doesn't really have the money that he had claimed that he had. I'm sure he was a little depressed about that.
Yeah, it's not real.
It's not real. I think it's a trick in the mind from Satan.
Shaitan. Yes.
Is that the African way of saying it?
I think the African way of saying is "Hoopa, hoopa, hoopa, hoopa."
It's my bad.
Yeah.
What is your father's name? Something like that?
He's actually from Barbados, but his name was Norman.
Norman?
Yeah, that was his real name.
That's an exceptionally white name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, his name is Walter.
Yeah, I'm actually white inside.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It
He's
is,
named
bro.
after, I forget the name of that fruit that falls from the trees.
Watermelon?
No, coconuts.
Okay.
Is your content
So we definitely know that Walter reads Length or Girth, the Reddit page for Fresh and Fit, because that name, Walter Melon, has definitely appeared more than once. So yeah, he's definitely tuned in.
inspired by Uncle Ruckus? I guess that's more so for you.
For me,
Yeah.
I was the original Uncle Ruckus.
No, you weren't, but you seem inspired by him from that TV show.
I was a racist before him.
You were racist before him?
Yes. I've never even watched the Boondocks, honestly. Never watched it
Well,
growing up.
you're listening.
I can believe that he's never seen the Boondocks, because it's not white. It's not a really mainstream white show. I think yeah, that was probably during the time that Myron was hanging around his little rowing team, and yeah, he's anything that was a black culture, rap music, hip hop, any type of anything starring black people. I'm sure he doesn't know anything about.
familiar with it if you're naming the show he was off.
Because people send me clips of it all the time saying I'm Uncle Ruckus, and then I was like, I didn't even know about the show when I was growing up.
So it's not inspired by him.
No.
Do you
You would think that if someone accuses you or says that you resemble Uncle Ruckus or you're channeling Uncle Ruckus, that would kind of trigger something in you to be like, okay, I need to probably fix that, because that's not a good image. If I'm trying to help people, if I'm trying to help young men and stuff like that, I don't want to have that image attached to me. But it seems like Myron doesn't have an issue with it.
when people say that, do you take it as a compliment or as an insult, or how do you view it?
I don't take offense to it.
You don't?
No, not at all.
Why do bugs and small animals keep coming out of my toilet when I'm using the bathroom?
Because you stink, nigga.
Well, it's happening to everybody in my house.
It's because it's your bathroom.
Not like my specific bathroom next to my bedroom, just all of the bathrooms in my house. Small bugs and roaches.
Oh, it's his fault.
Might want to get a plumber.
Yeah, I
Or
tried
this
that
guy
already.
spits the seeds everywhere.
Yeah, I don't live with
That
him
could be
though.
problematic too.
You want One Piece, bro? Yo, what the fuck?
He's probably
There's another one. Another what the fuck.
a DBZ fan. He didn't sound too happy.
Coke Benny, welcome to the stream, sir. What's up, camp? Still at work. I'll be out in about 2 hours. Hopefully, it'll still be on by then. Yeah, I'm probably gonna try to be on until I think about 3 a.m. So that's when I have to pretty much settle it down. I was actually thinking about putting a timer up just so I can see that, but I have my desk clock right here. But just know that 3 a.m. will probably be the cutoff time, no matter where we are at. But yeah, I appreciate you in the stream, man. This was requested by one of the viewers of the post stream. He was like, yeah, man, if you could react to this interview with Matan and Fresh and Fit. And there's actually a point in there where he actually brings Fresh to task, and I want to actually have more of the show based around that. So but yeah, we're gonna keep going. But yeah, welcome to the stream, dude. Good to see you.
Happy when you said One Piece.
Why is he shaking?
Because he doesn't like One Piece, bro. DBZ is superior.
There's a straw by his nose.
That's a breathing device. He has a.
Who?
I guess the guy who designed it. I don't know. Probably some sort of doctor.
Why is this thing a bank?
We could do. This brings me back to like high school. Well, this is way before your guys.
Listen to this. Listen to what Myron's about to. He's about to say. He's about to slip up right here.
This time, but we used to play the clips.
Well, he's 40 years old.
No, he's not 40 years old.
That guy is 40.
He's not
I'm
40.
17.
Well, yeah, but he's not 40.
He's 40 years old. He's a manager. He owns a company in Los Angeles, management company.
Really?
Yeah, talent acquisition.
Yeah, we used to do that in high school. I remember. We would play the clips, grinding.
Grinding?
Yeah,
Like
they used to beatbox that.
You used to beat on that one
We
app
used to be
for
in the- we
males
used to
to
be-
find each other?
No, we used to be in class, like hitting on a desk.
Wait.
Like that, pretty much.
Yeah, but now we just made
But
it.
with a bit more, like you got more rhythm though, man. Like, come on, dude. Like, you need more rhythm.
That grinder thing you just mentioned made me ask another question. What's the ratio?
Grinding.
Grinder. You were on Grinder?
No, grind in.
You're on Grinder?
No, grind in.
Hey guys, sorry for the interrupt.
You're a grinder. Myron will never admit to that. Myron, he can't admit to that. So yeah, we have to move right past that.
I have to let you know that today's episode is sponsored by Sheath. Sheath is an underwear company that I've worked with in the past. If you're wondering if I'm looking at the script on my phone, I'm not. I'm actually going to show you a picture I was able to sneak of the owner. He's the devil, the real devil from hell. Sheath underwear also includes a dual pouch which helps keep everything
I'm actually kind of curious if this is a real product.
separate and comfortable. The owner of Sheath is the devil and he'll try to steal your soul. Sheath is recommended by urologists. However, I don't know if they're under mind control from the owner, who is the devil Satan. I will tell you that they sent me some of the underwear, and firsthand, as somebody not under mind control, I can tell you that I think it's comfortable, and I will be giving it all in a box to my buddy Mike. Thanks to Sheath for sponsoring today's episode, and if you want to get some for yourself, go to sheath.com, SHEATH.com, and use code MATAN, MATAN, to get 20% off.
This is actually the first time I've actually seen this podcast like visually. I was listening to it at work a couple days ago, and when I heard this like ad read, I didn't I didn't think that he was spelling it as I just thought it said shit underwear, but it's sheath, like like a sword sheath underwear. But yeah, that's pretty clever.
If you order, that's sheath.com, sheath.com, and use code Matan, MATAN, to get 20% off your order. Thanks to Sheath for sponsoring today's episode. What's the ratio of men to women that you sleep with?
Okay, so this is actually going to open a door for Myron, but he has to now figure his way out of it. Let's see how he does it. He's going to laugh it off. That's the first step. The first step is to laugh it off, to kind of deflate the whole situation, and kind of distract a little bit.
I like that one.
It's not a trick question. I guess you can answer that after him, however you want to do it. It seems like he talks more than you.
It seems that way.
It is that way, yes.
The ratio is 535 women, 0 men.
I don't know about that, Byron. We have more pictures of you in beds with men than with women. So, not saying that you should be releasing pictures of you with women, but we only have the story of that one girl that you kind of I don't know. The Ethan Klein made it out to be like it was an essay situation, but you guys say you debunked it, whatever. But that's like the one and only situation that we can draw from, I guess, your own personal anecdotal history of you having a woman on your bed. But we have more photographic proof of you being in bed with guys. So it is what it is.
What did you say? That was really quick.
Roughly 535 women, 0 men.
Why roughly 500? I mean, maybe if you said roughly 500, I would think you're lying, but I'd be like, there's a small chance that's believable. But
Okay, well, maybe I'm lying. Who knows?
well, I mean,
Yeah, maybe you are lying, but see, this would be a point for the Colin show. If someone were to possibly bring to him this situation, like, hey, how many men have you slept with? And then he says the same thing, like 535 women and 0 men. You'd be like, well, you have more photographic proof of you sleeping with men. So you can't say 0. That the number is obviously more than 0. So, you want to try again? I would have said some stuff like that. That would have been funny.
it's possible, but why do you get to roughly 535?
Because I don't know.
That
the
doesn't
exact.
seem like a rough
I know it's
number.
Okay, so here's another conflict in Myron's story, because we know that he says he likes to document. He documents all of the people he slept with. It's just what he does, and his number said he said it was like in the triple digits, whatever, like that. But now he's saying, I don't know, it's somewhere around 535 or something like that. Now he's acting like he doesn't document it, but we know that he says he documents it. So I guess now he's going back on that.
like 5 something. I think it's 535.
Okay, so it's just you think it's between like it could be 550 or 540.
Somewhere in that range.
Oh, and why don't you want to get married or nothing like that?
Not just waiting, like
And so you don't sleep with men? You leave that to him?
That's what he does. Yeah.
That's what you do? You sleep with men? He didn't find that funny. See, he's being you keep insulting your best friend here. He doesn't.
I'm looking at your dude like, what the fuck?
No, you're looking at him.
Yeah, see, well, that's another what the fuck, but there's Walter again, not paying attention to the conversation and just kind of diverting to the guy in the middle. He does that a lot. We're not going to keep track of how many times he does that in this conversation, but he's just a goldfish brain. He can't really engage in the conversation. That was his opportunity to be like, to say something back to that, but he's just going to act like he's just distracted with this guy in the middle.
He's insulting you.
Here under his chin, like just only there.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Bro, he's right here next to me.
Your friend Myron?
Bro. All right, listen, bro. In my country, you sleep with a guy, you're expelled. Banabati boy. I don't do that.
Oh yeah.
Girls.
The
No,
Caribbean,
you're
they're
not-
too nice about that.
Only girls.
Were you born there?
Yeah, boy, yeah.
Yeah, but when did you move here?
At 21.
Oh, 21. Oh no.
What the fuck?
When would be an appropriate time to stop and frisk somebody for no reason?
If they're black,
If they're black
yes.
At the airport.
at the airport? That was a better answer than you. Maybe he's sneaking some of your intelligence away.
Maybe.
Would it be immoral to catch predators online attempting to meet up with minors and then letting them go for a clean 500?
What the fuck?
That's another one. Another what the fuck.
Nah, you gotta capture them and not take any money.
Who benefits?
Society.
The kids.
But where are you gonna capture them to?
Put them in jail.
Put them in jail.
Yeah, but then you have to do the whole process of the legal fees. I'd rather just get paid.
That's scummy, bro.
Very much.
That's scummy, bro.
You wouldn't do something like that?
Of course not.
Of course.
Not.
There was a delay there. Was that a Freudian slip right there?
It was on purpose.
No, it wasn't. It was on purpose, but on accident.
At the same time.
Yeah, but that's not how that works. Let's move on.
Coconut falls very slow.
They're like hitting your head. I think you're just seeing stuff, but sure. Did it drop? The one dropped on your head?
Apparently.
I'm asking you. That's not what you said in that clip. This is
The clip they referenced it. I can't remember what happened there.
You said you were picking coconuts in Barbados.
Yeah, I was trolling.
You were not trolling. I was about to say that.
There he goes again. I was just trolling. I mean, come on now. We know that he was picking coconuts in Barbados. Why are you gonna now deny that, Fresh?
Thought I could get to saying you weren't trolling before you could say you were that you were not. But it's okay. Are you guys secretly in love with each other?
Only on Wednesdays.
Only on Wednesday. So what about you? What do you think about what he just said? He doesn't like your answers today. He's fucking pissed off.
Probably a combination of that and then him who was freaking him out. But I think it's funny. I'm a fan of the Breaking Bad, so I could see the reference here.
Yes.
I like The Office,
Office?
but this is awkward.
Huh?
Walter just stays being awkward, man. Like he can't just soak in the situation and just kind of like keep going, man. He has to like stop and like hyper focus on things that are like out of place. It's so weird, man.
No, the show The Office I like, but this is just awkward.
Who?
This nigga right here.
Okay. What about you? He said you guys make love to each other on Wednesdays.
Whoa.
That's what he said.
No, you said we're in love.
Yeah, well,
It's not the same as you try to switch it.
I mean, that's really
Okay, so I guess we've confirmed that, you know, Myron is in love with Walter.
the hard implication there. I mean, if you're in love with somebody and you're seeing them every week,
Let's add in the love of making money. How about that?
so both you guys love making money and love sleeping together.
No.
He did say let's add it in. Let's add it in.
How do you get to that conclusion?
He said let's add that. He didn't say let's remove that and add it. He just said let's add it.
And when you put in context, we love helping men become better and making money.
By the way, he doesn't have a mic, so in case you didn't hear him, he said he loves making money with Myron and then sleeping with him on Wednesday night.
Did not say that.
The mic can't pick up on you because you're I don't know, I for whatever reason. This one is for you. Why did you get fired from the federal government?
Didn't get fired. I resigned.
Why did you resign?
They basically told me pick one: social media, or in your podcast, or the job.
Why would they say
wouldn't-
that?
They wouldn't let me have both. When you have a government clearance, they don't like you being on the internet.
Do you besides your podcast, do you make like a lot of money from your podcast?
We do okay.
Are you guys get most of that from YouTube?
No, actually,
They get none of it from YouTube. It's all gonna be from Rumble rants, and then FNF Super Chat.
we focus more on Rumble.
You're demonetized?
Yeah, we
Oh,
focus more on
Rumble.
Rumble and locals. Because
I don't know what locals is, but I'm familiar with Rumble. I mean, how is that? Do they have any advertisers? I mean, I know they have those guys who are like selling fake soap that they say is gonna cure you.
Yeah, they have advertisers. They do. Yeah.
They have a lot.
I like how Matan is shitting on Rumble right now because I mean they have what they have the soap, they have the coffee. I think they might have like a VPN service, whatever, but that's pretty much it, man. Not much for Rumble in terms of advertisers.
What's the CPM there?
Pennies, pennies.
Shit, I don't even know.
It depends.
Yeah, it depends.
How if you get 1,000 views, how much would they pay you on average?
Like $1.
You got a deal or not? Depends on your deal.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, so you have to be. They have to be paying you like how Kick does with the streamers,
No, they don't have to. Just pay off ads.
but they're paying you guys. You have a deal, or you guys are just posting there.
Possibly. Possibly.
Why are you looking at him?
Okay, so from what I understand, I do know that Walter has said on Mr. Organic that they do have a Rumble deal, and I want to say it was to the tune of 10,000. We're not going to end this video real quick. I just want to make sure. Let's check something. Mr. Organic. Mr. Organic. Okay, and let's see. Because there is a video that he has where it shows let's see, let's just go to his channel. Pause that. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so he has one with Fresh. I think it's gonna be under shorts, maybe. Let me double check. Might be wrong. Might be part of the whole. Let me see. Oh, you know what? No, it's gonna be under video. I know that for sure. So whenever he had Fresh on there and Fresh like went ahead and said that there was a deal that they had, it's literally in the thumbnail. We got a $10,000. What is that? 10 or is that a $10 million Rumble deal? Let's check this real quick.
Boom. So this goes crazy. That goes. Now we go here, right? Let me pull this right here.
Let's speed this up real quick.
Canceled y'all.
Yeah.
How was that? How did that feel that day when you got that cancellation of everything?
So, man, it was a tough day, bro.
Demonetized,
I
basically.
knew it was coming.
Mm.
2 months in advance.
Wow.
So, okay, remember I said I'm in rooms, right? People that are more established, more
Most
CEOs,
definitely.
executives. So, I was in Vegas. I'll forget this day. I was in Vegas, happy that event. So, there's people there that I don't want to say, but they were there from other platforms, and they were just like having a drink, gambling, having fun. And they're talking about like the future of social media, where it's going, and certain creators, certain algorithms, certain like things happening. I'm like, wow, this is like, shit, I shouldn't even be listening to.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here. Like, I'm the only black person there. Everyone else is white, Caucasian. So I'm like, all right, this is dope. I'm just gonna stay quiet and listen. And then I find out these certain people you bring on your show get you canceled. I'm like, wait, oh, okay, got you. Don't bring them on.
Right.
Understood. Because, bro, why would they mess up my bag? No, this
I
is
got Lambos. I got
exactly.
Yeah.
So we got pay employees, we got pay staff. He's like, nah,
got a good staff
he's on the
too.
road.
Yeah.
Then it's gonna find out he's on the show. Mind you, I postponed it for like 2 months. I'm like, bro, what are we doing? When they show up, he's there. I'm like,
NF, right?
the name that should not be named. Now, mind you, I don't hate the guy, but it's bad for business. And listen, they say, oh, Fresh, you sold out. Well, guess what? I did sell out.
Yeah.
Do that.
He cost you millions of dollars, right?
Millions.
Okay.
But you know what? In that whole debacle, we learned a lot.
For sure.
And I actually learned that like in the social media world, there's people that are liked and not liked.
Right.
If you're liked, you get passes, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
If you're not liked, cancel, demonetize, shadow ban, and that's it. Ain't no come back from that. You're cooked.
See, right.
Which is why I make alliances with people behind the scenes that have power.
Right.
So see, now I'm like, okay, cool. They know that I'm cool. I'm not like that. I could walk the walk, talk. All right, you're there. We'll keep it amicable.
Right.
But if not, we've been cooked.
Mm-hmm.
So it worked out.
Yeah, so when they did cancel you, so how was that day? Like, how was the sequence of that when you found out that your channel is totally demonetized? Not only Fresh and Fit, but also you guys' personal channels too.
Yeah, man, it was hard because like I love doing vlogs, bro.
Of course.
Vlogging is fun, and obviously I only get paid for vlogs because I like showing my lifestyle, showing my life behind the scenes, girls, cars.
Cars, yeah, it's
all
part
that
of it.
And it's like, damn, everything I had almost like 200K subs.
Mhm.
When I was climbing the sub base, game attraction, I was making like between 20 to 30K a month for my vlogs, bro.
Mhm.
Insane money just for like doing vlogs,
Just
right?
living life.
And gone. And then the show was making a bunch of money too, gone. I was like, was it worth it? Possibly, possibly not. Who knows?
All right.
But luckily, we made another alliance with Rumble, and
Blessing.
that changed the game, bro. Because without Rumble, we wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chris Pavlovsky, the CEO of Rumble. He made it where we're like Andrew Tate was canceled,
Yeah.
Sneaker was canceled, we were canceled.
Steve would
He
do
did
it.
for us. You see, you know what? I believe you guys when no one else will. I got your back. This
Right.
is why I'll never turn my back on Chris ever, bro. Chris had our back when no one else did.
Because that deal came after. Was you already talking to him before you got demonetized, or that happened after you got demonetized?
It was like in between.
Okay.
It was like right when we got canceled. Yeah. So, and mind you, he didn't know us at all. He's like, bro, who are these guys?
Right.
Two guys talking to girls, and it's funny. He started to like know us better, and then like, oh, I actually like the show.
So he started rocking with you guys because of like the controversy.
Well, this is what happened. Tate is the one that put us together.
Oh.
So see how networking works?
Right.
I put Tate on my show.
Yeah.
He gets traction. He's like, bro, these are my guys. He sees what happens to us. Oh, you canceled? Don't worry, I got you. Boom. There's my connection.
Wow.
Without him, so see how everything
Most
full
definitely.
circle?
I'm seeing that.
So this is why I say to people, don't burn bridges.
Right.
Let's say they surpass you, cool. They earned that. Why are you mad?
Right.
They might have did the work that you didn't see prior, vice versa. The point is that like never burn bridges. You never know what's gonna happen in the future. And
It's very true.
Full Circle helped us immensely.
Yeah.
And now we're best of friends. So
That's legendary.
Yeah.
So I never heard. I want to get juicy, brother. I'm digging. What my academics are saying. I want a pocket watch.
oh,
Here we go. I think this is
Here
the
we go.
I never heard it. I want to know how much that deal was at Rumble, that first
There we go.
edition one.
Oh man, it was a big number.
Okay, let's just
I'll give you this. I could buy a Lambo every month.
every month. 'Cause
Every month.
Which kind of Lambo? We going SVJ?
SV.
SV.
Yeah.
Every month. Ooh, for a year?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 8 figures.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
And it was life changing because, well, obviously speaking, like I made some mistakes, obviously doing that whole journey, but
Of course.
you live and you learn.
Most
But
definitely.
also, it's like, wow, now I know how it works. As a creator, you could grind all day on social media, but now those deals, yo, Aiden Ross is the GOAT. I don't care what nobody says, bro. That nigga's a GOAT. That
Uh-huh.
nigga realized what the game was and said,
So I
Hey,
think
it's grinding.
that's probably the best we're gonna get is that it was $10 million as far as the Rumble deal. So that's the number that he's not saying. It could be more, it could be less, but that's basically what I got out of that. So back to this one. Since he doesn't want to say it on Matan's podcast, I know that he was honest and forthcoming and he said it on Mr. Organic, but so that's why you got to cross-reference these things.
For an answer.
He's ringing a bell, bro.
Oh no, you guys have a deal?
Something like that, you could say.
What do you mean something like that?
Something
yes
like that.
or no? You want both benefits. You want to say you have a deal because it looks good, but you want to say you don't have a deal because you don't have a deal.
You can interpret it however you want.
Well, I'm asking.
This is why I don't understand. Like, you guys could just be honest and say that you have a deal, that, you have a deal for a certain amount of money or whatever, and you can just say it, or you don't even have to say the amount of money, but you can just say that you have a deal on Rumble. I don't see what the issue is with that. I think they want to, I guess, gain more sympathy that they're out here working for free. They don't want to have like the image that they're still, making, lots and lots of money or whatever. I think it's kind of dishonest. It's like just you're lying through omission, and I don't think that's good.
You. I'm not claiming it's either of those. I'm asking which of those it's between.
How do you make your money?
I don't. Well, I.
This is why it's like Fresh always has to turn it back on the person. He can't just like come out and say something. He has to be like, well, what do you know? Like what are your pockets looking like? And it's a deflection.
I am making him money, but just from YouTube ad revenue. I mean, it's not a lot or anything, but it's not horrible. But you guys, I mean, is it a lot of money or no?
We do all right.
Pays the bills. And I can buy coconuts.
Coconut, yes. I didn't mean to like piss you off when I said that. I was just referencing that one time. You were not trolling. You were not trolling.
I like the name, actually.
No, I like this
Coconuts?
because this actually lets us like get into the humor side. We don't get to do this, so this is actually fun for us.
You guys don't usually do business style serious podcasts like this one? I think this is for you too. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. You once said that some basketball player had offered you any woman in his house. Even if that wasn't... Well, let me finish it. Even if that wasn't a lie, what's impressive about sleeping with a random hooker?
That is a great question. What is impressive about sleeping with a hooker? Because from what Fresh will tell you, for those of you that don't remember, Fresh said that he met this basketball player at a bar just randomly. And the basketball player saw him, asked him, hey, do you know where there's a party around here? And Fresh said that, oh, well, you can hang out in Brickell, you can go here and here and all this stuff. And then, yeah, the guy was like, okay, cool, thanks, man. And then I guess he ended up getting Fresh's Instagram. And then they, I guess the app, he saw that the same girls followed Fresh, or Fresh followed the same girls as I guess the guy knew in his network, girls that he had messed around with or whatever. Fresh had also claimed that he had messed around with them as well. So I guess they were best friends after that. So the basketball player ends up inviting Fresh to a mansion party the very next day. And when he arrives, he tells Fresh, "Hey, pick any girl that you want in this party or whatever. You can have whatever you want, and pick any 3 girls." So apparently Fresh, he said he picked 3 girls, and he said that they were gonna. He said they wanted to do a threesome, and I was like, Fresh, that's not a threesome. That's actually a foursome. It's okay. He doesn't believe in math, guys. But so he did say that I'm going. He's like he basically did them one at a time. That was his thing. He said that he slept with one, he took a shower, he went back again, and that was it. And this was all in a video where he was claiming that, hey, I can teach you guys how to get 3 girls in one night, whatever. I can teach you 2 how to have this happen. When it just kind of, when through his story, it just kind of fell in his lap, even though it's not very believable. But yeah, so even later, I'm kind of jumping ahead because we are going to actually come back to this. To this whole what's called fresh story, and but yeah, we're gonna keep playing through this, see what he says, because we have to pay attention to the details in this podcast so that when we go to the next video, we will have that information to apply.
Well, first of all, they were not hookers. Secondly,
Well, if he's offering to
it wasn't any.
Yeah, how are they not hookers? That's one thing that we need to understand. If the guy had escorts, prostitutes, OnlyFans girls, random girls, and he can just say, "Hey, you go sleep with this guy, or whatever. Hey, he's picking you. You go sleep with him, whatever." Does that? I mean, if they weren't career hookers, they were definitely hookers for that evening. So I'm sorry, Fresh. I mean, you can't put lipstick on a hooker and say it's not a hooker, man. It's a hooker, bro.
Woman.
Okay, it's not a hooker. It's just an actual
What happened
whore, like a
was-
super.
I told a story about a true event that happened.
No.
People thought I was lying.
See, he's already blazing past the point of like, oh no, you got this girl that, with no skill at all. The guy just says, "Hey, go sleep with that guy," and he's like, "No, no, no. I told this story and it was actually real and all this." I'm like, dude, come on, man. He's already going on to the next point when he needs to. If I was Matan, I would be like, no, 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 stop. Don't stop explaining. Start with the point that you slept with 3 hookers.
And it's
You
funny.
were.
He came onto my show and explained it in detail what happened, and I wasn't lying.
It was the basketball.
That's another lie. He did not explain in detail, which, we have all the videos for this. I gathered it all for this podcast. So, we probably stop it right there, but I want to wait until he gets to this one detail, and then we're going to go off and do our little cross-examination.
Player.
Yes. Secondly,
Who was he?
So that was a very good question. Good follow-up. Who was the basketball player? Because Fresh hasn't said it yet, and I don't think he says it in the original video of him, claiming that he slept with 3 girls in one. He doesn't say it.
go watch our podcast, Fresh and Fit.
Well, make them interested. Who tell me who it was?
And, it was a player for Chicago Bulls, and
Michael Jordan?
No.
Who was it?
Go watch and find out.
Well,
Why wouldn't he tell them right then and there? It baffles me. It seems like the more holes in the story, the more mysterious it seems. But here's the thing. He said Chicago Bulls, and I guess it was around 2018, 2019. The time that he told the story was, I think it was in 2020. So let's go to Reddit real quick, because I have, excuse me, I have 2 posts here. Ooh. All right, so let's go to my profile here, and let's see. All right, so this post right here. Let me see if I can zoom it in for you guys. Oops. All right, let me go back. All right, there we go. I want to make it where I can see. Okay, well, I hope you guys can read that. So my question was, does anyone know the NBA player who invited Walter to the mansion party? On the podcast with Matan, Walter was asked the player's name, but he only said he used to play for the Chicago Bulls. I also remember Walter calling some guy live on air to confirm the story. We're going to see that video. I decided to do some detective work on who the NBA player could possibly be. I came across a bit of information on the Will Smith TV show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. For those of you that don't know, that's a very popular show in the mid to late 90s, whatever. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They did a remake. I think it's called Bel-Air. I haven't seen any of it, but yeah. Will Smith was the star of that show. In the episode titled The Basketball Game and the CEO, the NBA player who introduces Will to 3 women is Dennis Rodman, a now retired player of the Chicago Bulls. I now believe Walter lifted the situation from this show and has adopted it into his story on how he slept with 3 women in one day. So this is the information that I screenshotted. So it says in the Fresh Prince episode, the CEO, the NBA player who introduced Will to the 3 women were also the CEOs was Dennis Rodman. The episode was called The CEO. The NBA player was Dennis Rodman. The characters were Will Smith, Dennis Rodman, and 3 women who were the CEOs. And then there was another piece of information here. It says the NBA player who introduced Fresh Prince of Bel-Air CEO, Will Smith's character, to the 3 women in the episode, The Basketball Game, was Dennis Rodman. So, and we know that Fresh Prince CEO, he derives his moniker from this show. Is it a coincidence that there was an episode called The CEO, and in that episode he introduces Will Smith to 3 women, and it's by a Bulls player called Dennis Rodman? Well, here come the comments. So this gentleman right here, Mr. Environmental Day, shout out to him. He did some digging for me, and this is what he got. His name is Raul. I think it's Raul Atkins. I don't know if I could see this big enough. Oh, here we go. All right. So he was number 0. He was born in 97, October 29th, 97, 6'5", 220 pounds. His earnings was about $77,250. So yeah, he was with the Chicago Bulls around 2018, 2019. That was his salary. So with this salary of $77,000, do you think that this basketball player was throwing a mansion party with girls, and he was just, he was only on the Bulls for like a year, and then I guess he ended up trading to another team. Let's go back to the comments here. Right here. So let me zoom this in so you guys can read. So the guy that posted this shot, he said, this guy right here, G League player that only had a 10-day contract with the Bulls. Bro isn't throwing any parties in his mansion in Miami with that salary. He was totally bought off by FNF to lie for Fresh. And then I wrote, excellent work. This guy is now playing for an Israeli basketball club, which I looked up later. I can see the text right now. Bro, I'm getting pressed right now. Need a big favor. Just agree and I'll cash app you. That was me just thinking that's probably how it went down. Jalen Suggs says, unknown G League player who had 1 game in the NBA or something. And then I wrote, the entire premise seems poorly fabricated. Why would an NBA player want to get the Instagram of a random man at a bar? If someone can point to me to the video on YouTube where Walter says the name of the Bulls player, I would be grateful. And then this guy says, he actually did have him on. He played for the Miami Heat or Lakers or something like that. And he got downvoted for that one. And I said, I smell a payout to confirm a story. And then this guy, Mr. Top Obligation, said, no, he played for the Chicago Bulls in 2018 when the Bulls were going through a rebuild. I remember that episode. It was a call-in show, and Walter called him live on air. He picked up and vouched for him and everything. It was like 3 years ago. And I said, okay, what was his name? The guy on the phone that Walter could have texted before calling. Because I was very skeptical. I mean, of course. And I was like, had who on? You know, like he in this whole explanation, you know, he played for Chicago Bulls. He knew the year and everything. But it was like, okay, but what's the guy's name? At the time, we didn't know the guy's name. And then this guy says, that story is 3 years old. Who cares? It's 2025. And at this point, you either love or hate FNF. And I'm like, okay, just because the story is old, do we have to accept it as fact? By that rationale, don't ask any questions about September 11th, 2001. Just believe everything in the 9/11 Commission report. And a lot of people thought that was pretty good. But so let's go back. I think sort by, I think new here. We can see. Oh, okay. So that's everything for that one. Let's go back. Let me zoom out. So I did a follow-up post to this one, and it was this right here. Let me see if I can get this on screen. Oops, there we go. All right. All right, so this is the guy's Instagram page, is King Rawl, and this is the call that Fresh did to him while I guess he was on air. This is back in the old studio, so he wanted to call him and have him, I guess, confirm everything in terms of like the mansion party, the meeting up, and then him giving him like an invite to the party the next day. Cabos, welcome to the stream. Yo, what's up, Camp? I didn't think you were streaming tonight, bro. Yeah, I don't know if you caught the very beginning. I actually had to update my NVIDIA drivers. When I started up OBS, I'm like an idiot. I updated my OBS, and then in doing that, I needed to update my drivers, and I was just like, oh, crap. And I haven't done this in a while, but apparently NVIDIA did an update for all of their graphics cards. I think it was like March 18th. And yeah, so I apparently had to update my drivers, and that took a little bit more time. So yeah, I was a little late. I don't think I got on until like a little bit after midnight. So I do apologize for that. But that's how it happened. But yeah, so continue on. This is the video. This is the proof that Walter will say this will clear his name. Okay. In terms of his story about sleeping with 3 girls in one night, this is the guy confirming his story. So let's listen to it.
So, bro, so remember back when I told a story, right? Where like I was at a party and where I met you. So if you don't mind, kind of like breaking down where did I meet you, and was there a party that you invited me to after we met?
It was so long ago, man. But
it was a movie.
The next day.
Cabo says, man, I missed your reaction to the Matan interview. No, you didn't miss it. We're actually in the middle of it. You can always go back and watch the beginning part. But yeah, we're right in the middle of it. I wanted to get to the point where he pressed Fresh about, you know, the story, the lie, you know, of him you know, meeting up the basketball player and all that stuff. And then he asked Fresh, what was the basketball player's name? And Fresh was like, go watch the episode, whatever. But I actually watched the episode, and I saw that, oh, he never said the guy's name. He never said the guy's name at all. He was like, you know, he was keeping it secret to protect his privacy and all that stuff. And which we should have saw that. We should have watched that. And we can. It's no big deal. But just so I can tell you that he never said the guy's name. But yeah, so far he's just like, hey, did we meet up? Did we do a party and stuff like that? He doesn't ask the main question. The main question is, did you let me pick out 3 girls to sleep with in one day? He never asked that. Let's listen. It's only 52 seconds. Let's rewind it back.
So, bro, so remember back when I told a story, right? Where like I was at a party and where I met you. So if you don't mind, kind of like breaking down where did I meet you, and was there a party that you invited me to after we met?
It was so long ago, man. But
it was a movie.
The next day,
yeah.
The next day, you pulled up to the party. I invited you to the party, and then you pulled up. You had some people with you. It was just you. You know how I told you it was like we always like low key about it. It's always people we know only, you know.
Can't record, can't bring your phone out. Very private, very respectful.
Exactly.
So look, I appreciate you for clearing up, because people said on the internet, oh, it's cap. You know,
That's it. That's all. He's like, hey, did we meet up? Did we go to a house party or whatever? Nothing about the biggest claim was, oh, I can teach you guys how to sleep with 3 girls in one night because that's what happened to me. He basically just said, hey, pick any 2 girls or whatever, and pick any 3 girls and, you know, whatever. Do you guys think that this basketball player that had like a 10-day contract with the Chicago Bulls making $77,000 a year had that kind of pull to just, you know, did anybody even know who he was, you know, in Miami? I mean, I don't know. I'm a little skeptical, a little bit.
never met an NBA player, you never met someone at a pool, you never had girls. And I was like, bro, you don't even know my lifestyle. And in Miami, it's so funny because everyone's here, rappers, NFL players.
Yeah, you
like,
run into them.
Everyone's
it's easy.
here. It's not hard at all.
No, for sure.
So
That's it. That's all the evidence he has is that, hey, did we meet? I mean, he could have texted this guy too. He could have completely texted him and like I said earlier, hey, people are pressing me right now on this call-in show. They're saying that I'm full of shit. I just need you to agree to everything, and I'll send you like $1,000. You know, just agree with me, whatever. And it's just like, but he never said the part like, hey, about the whole 3 girls thing, and that was something that, you know, that's the main thing. And I think here is the comment that I said to this.
So, bro,
Hold on, let me pause this. So my comment was, I can believe Walter met a relatively unknown basketball player. I can also suspend my disbelief that he was invited to a party the next day. It's the 3 women in one night we all don't believe. This guy said Raul Atkins went undrafted and played in a 2-way contract for a year in Chicago. That year was mostly spent with Chicago G League affiliate team. He's played overseas since then. I'd be surprised if Miami groupies or most people even know who he is. And I wrote, even if you surround your lies with bits of truth, it's still a lie. And yeah. And then this guy said, so fucking cap. He says, he just rattles a bunch of shit off and then expects the dude on the other end to just be like, yeah. Fucking Fresh, keeping up the lie. Yeah, bro. So that was pretty much that. Let's go back. Okay, so we can close this one. But yeah, so let's see how Fresh can just like stumble through this whole basketball story and how he wants to tell it.
Tell them so they know what to look up. What are they gonna look up?
Fresh and Fit NBA story. And
Yeah, but then they're gonna just get the Moist Critical video. What's the name of the?
Now, I found this point very interesting. He says, you know, you're just going to get the Moist Critical interview. So I actually did that. I typed in Fresh and Fit basketball player story. And you know what the first result is? Well, it's Spencer Cornelia talking about the funniest lie ever. But then right below that is Penguin Zero, the most embarrassing alpha male ever. And then you got Last Night in Destiny. I guess Destiny did a reaction too. But yeah, I don't see the video for Fresh, saying this. And I don't know if it's been moved to Rumble or whatever, or if they're just so shadow banned that it's all the way down. But yeah. And I actually watched this Spencer Cornelia video. It was pretty informative. This guy actually has like experience like with basketball players, and he was just like, it's just kind of funny to me how a basketball player that is not very notable meets another man in a bar, gets his Instagram, invites him to ask him, where's the parties at and stuff like that. Fresh gives like a very vague answer, like, oh, you can come to Brickell or whatever like that, and then the very next day he's hosting a mansion party with all these girls and stuff like that. And it's just, it's very unbelievable, and I don't know. Kava says, I love how they didn't give him a mic. Yeah, bro, that was brilliant. It was brilliant that they didn't give him a mic. And it was also brilliant how, like they have the manager not saying anything. You got the guy in the middle who's playing Hector Salamanca from Breaking Bad, just completely just, ringing the bell every once in a while and just having the crazy eyes. And then you got his manager eating sunflower seeds all over the place, just not responding to Fresh whenever he talks to him, just being completely a silent partner. And I was just like, this just mirrors like what Fresh was. He used to be like the silent guy, but now that he's on this, like, no, I'm going to contribute arc, it's funny how Fresh will call out these silent characters and be like, hey, why doesn't he talk? Why doesn't he talk? I'm like, bro, this was you. This was you for many, many years. So, yeah. So let's go back.
It'll come up. But what happened was YouTubers were jealous because they said, no only way this is possible. Fresh, you're lying. I'm like, why would I lie about this on camera? To be roasted and exposed. What happened was I brought him on after his contract was finished. He was overseas, and he spoke about what happened at the party. And it wasn't every girl. He just said, listen, bro, the house is yours. What do you want to do? Pick who you want. Go do your shit. That was it.
So you think that they thought that story was fake because they were jealous?
Yeah, of course.
Are you insane?
A little bit.
Yes. Did you end up picking a girl from there?
Let's just say I had a lot of fun.
Were you dreaming?
No, it's real.
Can you promise on that? Or are you too far down the hole in this story?
Promise to God, bro. Nothing to lie about.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I guess even assuming the story is real, as I said, I guess maybe it's not really a hooker, but it's certainly not like a valuable woman. You know what I mean?
Fresh, pay attention to what's going on. He's asking you a very pertinent question that, hey, you're saying that they weren't hookers, okay? But you were able to just pick them out of a lineup like you were picking a hooker, okay? What makes them not hookers? Okay? I mean, I'm sure that they made you feel very comfortable and stuff, like, maybe they were used to that and stuff. And you didn't really have to work for it. You thought you were working for it by getting to know them and stuff like that after you had selected them, but they made the whole job pretty easy for you. So maybe he's just, I don't know. Maybe he just is in denial that they were hookers. And he's just like, no, I got them off a game, man. It was game. I have game. I was like, Kavos, I'm also keeping tally of how many times Fresh has said, what the fuck? And so far we're up to 9 times. He said that 9 times already. And I don't know if you remember, I'm sure you do, but I said the third button in terms of Fresh's contributions could have been what the fuck, because he says that a lot. And you could have just put that on the stream deck, and yeah, it would have completely eliminated his purpose on the show.
What do you think? Can you weigh in on this?
I wasn't there.
Here we go. Myron completely being like, oh, I'm going to just be like, I wasn't there. I don't know. I can't confirm nor deny.
Yeah, but weigh in on the situation.
I believe it.
I'm not asking if you believe it. I mean, I'm asking what would be impressive about sleeping with that type of person.
Well, all the girls are hoes in Miami, so.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know this. You're in Hollywood.
I'm
Well,
waiting.
not you, but I mean, like, maybe he knows.
I mean, I know your guys' your like thing is to help people talk to women better and stuff like that, but I don't talk to them at all. I kind of just keep it clear and only focus on business.
Yeah, you roast OnlyFans hosts.
Yeah, I don't like OnlyFans, but I also don't talk to girls. I mean, I've never been in a relationship, just business.
Good. That's the way
Yeah,
you want
agree with that?
Yes, 100%.
Yes. So, anyways, weigh in on that story.
I believe it, man. Fresh is always with girls and celebrities. So
He's not asking if you believe it. He's asking, is it impressive that you got to sleep with 3 hookers? That's the main question. Is it impressive that you got to sleep with 3 hookers in one day?
No, I know, but what?
What do you think?
Here we go. Fresh is always going to play that card of turning it back on the actual speaker when he's being held accountable.
You're asking if I think it's real?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Okay, why?
Not because I'm jealous of it. I mean, I don't even try to get with them in the first place because it would just be a waste of my time, because I'd rather be putting my time into productive stuff. It just sounds like... Yeah,
you got to waste time at the clinic, too, getting your freaking dick scrubbed. But they know Fresh. They know Fresh on a first name basis over there. So back again, huh?
Ridiculous story, and even
I have a question. Why would I go on camera, willingly lie, and then sit there and be like, "Oh yeah, this is true"?
That's a good question, Fresh. Why would you lie? Would it be to possibly add credibility to your player story? For young men to look at and be like, wow, like this guy, he's had a threesome, or he said he had a threesome, but it was supposed to be with 3 girls, so that's technically a foursome. He doesn't believe in math. It's okay. But so if Fresh could have something like this happen and we believe it, well, maybe he has some. Maybe there's something to his DMs on demands course that he's trying to sell us on, so that we can have this too. That was the whole point of that whole video, was basically to say, hey, I can teach you guys how to basically work with Instagram messaging girls, and then you can get this situation happen to you too. And I'm just like, no, because he did say that. He said that in his video, which I don't, what, let's go to it. We got to pause it again. I apologize, guys, but we're going to use all of our cross-referencing information that we have to do this. So let's do it. I thought I'd say, do we watch the penguin one, or do we watch this guy? This one has 1 million. Let's watch this one. It's fine. We'll watch Penguin. Because you can't watch the original video. The original video is probably on Rumble, and I don't want to get this stream taken down. So let's just watch this one here.
The only thing more pathetic than a guy who calls himself an alpha male is a guy who calls himself an alpha male and then tries to sell advice to desperate, lonely men.
Hey guys, your boy Fresh Prince CEO, and today we're gonna talk about.
The title of this video is "Pull Girls Easily." So this is, just listen up, guys. This is gem advice right now.
All my W's. Stay tuned for it.
I love intros like these. You get some like wacky wubby dubstep kind of shit going on there with a dumb intro. It is so nostalgic. Takes me right back to 2011. Anyway, this is the Fresh and Fit podcast. The entire purpose of this show is to bring women on to insult and belittle them to their face, while also preaching that men should have the right to cheat on their significant other as many times as they want, whereas their significant other isn't even allowed to look at other men. They have to go in public with like fucking horse blinders on, and if they even so much as glance at a dude, you need to kick them to the streets immediately because they're a fucking disgusting, worthless whore. It's a lot of horrible, abhorrent shit that they talk about, and I'm sure you've heard of them or seen them before because I've had so many viral clips over the last year of them getting dunked on by the guests they bring on. I'm pretty sure the two of them have a humiliation fetish, which is the reason they keep this show running. But they're also kind of like the Voldemort of YouTube, at least they were for a little bit. They used to copyright claim and copyright strike anyone that would make fun of them or joke about them, saying that it was damaging their brand or making them look silly.
And now they damage their own brand on their own. Like Myron is now the one that he's like, look, if anybody's gonna damage the brand, it's gonna be me. Okay, I'm gonna push at the walls here, and I'm gonna crash this ship. If anybody's gonna do it, it's got to be me.
Even though they themselves are the clowns in their own circus, they're making themselves look fucking stupid. They never actually won any of their strikes or claims or anything like that. They all got overturned. But still just absolutely cowardly pussy behavior from people that claim to be alpha males. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about Fresh and Fit as a whole or the entire production of it. I want to focus on one video they posted in particular, one that I still think back on with a little wet spot in my trousers. It's one of the most delusional things I've ever seen from a YouTube channel. It's one of the hosts that is telling a story that is completely made up, just obviously fiction. He is literally making up fanfic on par with My Immortal in a way that makes him look like he constantly fucks. Even though I'm pretty convinced that the shorter guy here is a virgin, yet he still makes these crazy claims and stories like the one I'm about to show you.
All right, guys. So you heard my L's, marrying a single mom, getting left out in the cold, basically in the car, never came home.
Suggested videos: I married a single mom, disastrous marriage.
Cheers.
Okay.
But today we're gonna talk about my W in terms of having 3 women in one day.
Let me stop you right there. I already don't believe you. It's super hard to think that anything they say is real when they constantly make stupid fucking claims like this one.
And we know that Fresh cannot be trusted because he's lied to us. He's lied to Myron. He's lied to us. and he's not to be trusted because he will come out later. At the time, in the moment when he's being held to the fire, he'll say that he was just trolling, or he's saying, you know, it wasn't that serious, whatever. And then later, if you give him enough time, dude, he will admit what happened. He'll admit to paying half. He'll admit to Daisy that the 1,000 bodies and stuff is not real. It's just like a lot of stuff that he says. It's all for to build a mystique around him that, oh, this guy is a credible person that belongs here on the red pill. He belongs to being able to teach men, you know, red pill ways and stuff like that. When really it's not the case at all. He's pretty beta the way they come.
Not to mention they've both shown themselves to be frauds time and time again.
You know, we're both triple-digit notch count. He's in the quadruples.
There is no reality in the entirety of the fucking multiverse where this man has slept with one woman, let alone over 1,000 of them. Doctor Strange could peer into an endless multiverse and never find one where this guy has slept with 1,000 women. They just say a whole bunch of...
Well, here is the thing, though. I mean, I know I said I was going to put the body count in the book, and I never did. And that was never the point of the book. That was just like a selling point of the book. But no, I think that the body count of it being like 1,000 and stuff, if you pay for it, yeah, I think that he was addicted to escorts. I think he's addicted to prostitutes. And he's also said this, that look, if I get to a point where, you know, I'm making this money and stuff like that, I don't see what the issue is. I think he thinks it's fine. It's fine to do whatever he wants. It's his money. He said it. And for those of you that have never heard him say it, let me cross-reference that again. I'm so sorry, but we're really gonna go through it all, man. I'm gonna make sure. Well, let me make sure I bring up another YouTube tab. I don't want to lose my place, but don't worry, guys. This is the weave. I'm gonna bring everything back. Don't worry. Actually, no, it wasn't even on YouTube. It was on Reddit. Let's go back. Let's go to my stuff. Are we on my stuff right now? Okay. Yeah.
So,
let's go. Let me find it. Because if you guys ever go to Reddit, just go to my page. Everything's there. Everything that I've ever gathered on these guys is here. All
right.
Hold on. Don't worry. I will find it. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. We're getting closer. Saint in the center, butt ass. Keep going. Right. Okay, here we go. All these spines. Okay. I think if I zoom out a little bit, it'll be easier. Let me see it, and then I can zoom back in.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, this old chestnut. I don't know if you guys can see this.
As long as you look at this face.
Sexy Paris Banks.
Oh man, the video is playing. I saw 14,605 possible outcomes. And how does it end? Walter always pays for box. This was a comment. That's why it's like that. Let's go back. Wait.
I'm turning off.
This is. Can I get back out?
I'm just have your ass walking out.
Oh my gosh.
No. Your phone's here though.
Yeah, this is another point I'm going to bring up. Whatever. This is the whole him paying for box.
But sorry, you said
That's
no.
Paris Banks.
For a night.
Paris Banks, the porn star. This is Fresh. She ended up taking her after the show. This is how much she costs. Here we go.
For an hour. You want me for a night? It's 2 to 3K. That'd be for an hour.
2 to 3K. There you go. So Fresh was able to part with that. I mean, that's like super chat money, you know, for the week. Let's back it up. Okay, let's keep going. It's a little bit further. Like how all this stuff actually, it all makes sense together. Getting closer, getting closer.
No hair at all.
Yep, past that. It's actually before I actually dropped my my video on why Myron deserves fresh. The original video, not the newest one, the original. Yeah. Keep going, keep going.
I'm gonna come down.
Okay, we're getting closer. We're getting closer, I promise. Man, I've been trolling these guys for a while.
So ultimately,
here we
if
go.
I decide I work my ass off, I become successful, I'm at this hierarchy of a level where I want to be, guess what I'm gonna do? What the fuck I want to do?
Yeah.
So ultimately, if I want to fuck strippers or prostitutes, hey, that's on me.
There you go, guys. If he wants to do it, that's on me. So there you go. I'm glad I could find that real quick. So let's go back to Mr. Penguin, and then we're gonna go back to the Matan video.
Made up bullshit constantly.
But I met this guy at a pool party. He's an NBA player. I won't say his name for some reasons, but you know, he's a pretty top tier guy, high value guy, right?
Okay, so he didn't say the guy's name. He's like, he's a top tier guy. He's a top tier guy? Is he? Really? G League for the, was it 10-day whatever contract with the Chicago Bulls? Yeah, I don't know if he was a top tier guy.
I'm at the bar ordering drinks for my friends, and he says, yo, bro, what's a good spot to go party at tonight? I told him, look, bro, you can go downtown, you can go to Brickell, Wynwood, doesn't really matter, but I'm going to downtown because it's a really good spot. And then he's like, yo, bro, are you on Instagram?
And then he added me on Instagram, we became best friends, he got me a tryout with his NBA team, which I absolutely crushed and became a starter on the squad, setting NBA world records. He invited me to Thanksgiving at his parents' house, I fucked his mom, and then the whole family clapped. That would be more believable than the story he's about to tell from here.
I was like, perfect, yeah, I am. So I give him my Instagram, and lo and behold, he followed me, he said, wait, you know this chick? So he pulls up this girl's profile, because you can see who's following someone that you just added from like the following list. I was like, yeah, I know her, bro. I used to like do her back in the day. He's like, damn, that's my shorty want to come in town. So basically,
Kava says, wow, I never saw that clip. Are you talking about the prostitute clip? Oh, if I basically, you know, make all this money and become high level, whatever, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. Yeah, bro. I mean, this shit goes pretty deep. I'm not just out here writing books on people because I don't like them. No, it's because they're hypocrites, man. And for them to be like, oh no, we don't pay for box, but no, there's like so much evidence of you supporting it, man. It's like you do pay for box. You know it looks bad for you to do it, but then you guys will self-snitching yourselves. You'll record yourselves because you think you're being cool walking down the hallway with Paris Banks after you drop like 2-3 grand or whatever for just to like smash and stuff. It's just like, okay. And his whole reasoning is that it's not tricking because he got it. Okay, all right.
we were smashing the same chick.
No, you weren't. The only thing you've been smashing is your meat into your hand, you liar. This story's already got
Pamela Anderson. Oh man, if what was it? There was another one that I was thinking of. Kamala Henderson. Or what was it? Pamela Harris. That's what it was. Kamala Harris, Pamela Harris.
more plot holes in it than Kingdom Hearts. Why would an NBA player go up to a random guy at a pool party to ask for a party later? He's clearly already connected. He found out about the pool party, so why would he go up to a complete stranger at a bar to ask for further advice on partying? And then going a step further to add him on Instagram. That just doesn't make any sense. Unless Fresh and Fit dropped to the floor and sucked his dick raw at the bar in front of everyone, why would this NBA player care to add him on Instagram?
And the other guy's video, it actually brings up a really good point that this whole like adding a random guy on Instagram is so unlikely. But you know, it's part of the story. It actually hinges on the story. It has to be part of the story in order to work, because that's how they were able to link up later.
NBA players, celebrities, they don't follow like anybody at all, except for like actual close friends or business partners or something like that. So why would he add a complete stranger who he only asked one question to: where should I party?
Yeah, where's the party at? Oh, I'm probably go downtown or whatever, man. Dude, you got an Instagram? Like, I don't think that would warrant that response at all. But it has to be that because that's how the story goes. That's how Fresh told it to us.
Past that, why would he then check who this new guy was following? Hey, pardon me, I couldn't help but notice that this girl that I'm piping is being followed by you. Are you that creepy stalker she has a restraining order against? Or, like, what's the deal there? Are you guys friends? Oh, you guys used to fuck too? Alright, fist bump. We just became best friends. Let's go.
So he's like, yo, dude, you know what? I'm having a mansion party, like, the next day. Come through. I got you. All this time, we linked up the same night at the party spot I was going to. We connected. And funny enough, we did it as
One thing that you guys will tell, well, I guess I can let you know about behavior analysts is that if you're lying, there are so many tells that you will do if you're lying. Talking with your hands, moving and stuff like that. Like, you should be able to just tell a story and just tell it straight. Exo Charles, welcome to the stream, my friend. Hello, everybody. Good to see you, man. We're just diving into the whole thing about Fresh and his basketball story. As soon as I finish writing the book, I think of more stuff to put in the book. So I was thinking maybe I come out with a second edition, with more stuff in it. Because I didn't really get to touch on this part, but I think it's time to shed some light on it because, if you go back earlier in the video, you see that there was some stuff that kind of lined up in terms of like, if you were to Google search it, the whole thing about, it was a Chicago Bulls player, and then you look it up and it's like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They had an episode called The Basketball Game, the CEO, and in those two episodes, Will Smith gets to meet three girls through a Chicago Bulls basketball player, and his name is Dennis Rodman. But then in the real story, according to Fresh, he meets up with this basketball player that had a 10-day contract with the Chicago Bulls, and he was part of the G League. He wasn't like any like high profile basketball player. Barely, I don't think anybody really knew who he was because he wasn't on the team long enough. And but yeah, this is Fresh's claim to fame is that he linked up with this guy. He met him at a bar. The guy was asking him about, hey, where's the party at, whatever. And Fresh just said, well, I'm going downtown, So the guy ends up getting Fresh's Instagram, invites him to a mansion party the next day. And then he tells Fresh, hey, you can pick any three girls, man. Just go have fun. And this is how Fresh was able to pull girls easily because it fell into his lap. It's not a good story. It doesn't make him look good. And if anything, it just means that, you were in a house full of whores and you just slept with three hookers. Okay, what's impressive about that? That's the question that Matan is asking Fresh, which we're going to loop back to that, but we had to loop to this real quick.
the same girls, like a bunch of them. It was crazy, Like I always say, me and Myron, a lot of these girls share the same high value men.
Oh, but in terms of the tells when you're lying, you do a lot of blinking. You'll blink a lot more if you're lying, and you'll talk more with your hands. There's a lot more. I think it's like looking down and to the left. That's also something that you'll do when you're lying. So there's a lot. There's a lot of tells that are going off here. For anybody who knows a behavior analyst, somebody who can read people when they're lying, touching your nose, touching your ears, readjusting yourself while you're telling the story, stuttering. It's all things that indicate that someone is lying.
And they're running the same circles, right?
You have the gall, the chutzpah, to sit here and insult not only the intelligence of your viewers, but insult God himself with the claim that you and the NBA player were having sex with the same women. Do you honestly expect anyone in the world to believe that? And then to have the audacity to make the claim that women go for the same high-value males? You are somehow putting yourself in the same ballpark as a fucking NBA player. You who runs one of the most laughed at podcasts on the internet since the My Little Pony fan club radio show.
And Fresh also will put himself in the same ballpark as like rock stars with it in terms of that body count. For him to get 1,000 bodies in 1 year, that's more than what like Eddie Vedder gets, you know, a well-known rock star in terms of what he said, because he said he did like something around like I don't know, like 850 or 900, something like that. That was the most that he could do in a year. So apparently Fresh can do more than a well-known rock star. Go figure.
You think that you are a same level of high value male as an NBA player? Fucking mind-blowing.
I'm at his management party, right? There's like 40 girls and like 5 guys. In my head, I'm like, yo, real talk, this is crazy. Like, I've never been at a party where there's been this much girls compared to guys. So I'm like, yo, how's this gonna work? He says to me, yo, come through, bro. So he's like, yo, pick.
And the fact that Fresh does stutter, speak like, and then also does a lot of blinking, talking with his hands, readjusting himself, doesn't mean that he's not just lying here. He's lying all the goddamn time. And, you know, it's almost better if he just never said anything at all, man, because then the lies wouldn't have to spew out. But this is his claim to fame. And the whole reason why he's doing this is so that he can have any type of credibility in the red pill space. That is why this video was made.
3 that you want, and I got you. I was like, 3 that I want? Is it like a buffet? Shoot, I'll take it.
Bro, this does not sound like an NBA player. This sounds like human trafficking. Pick any 3 girls and I got you. That should be like setting off alarm bells in your head, I would think. What might have happened is some guy came up to him and lied like, yeah, I'm in the NBA, I'm also ex-Special Forces, over 500 confirmed kills, and I fuck on the daily. In fact, hourly. In fact, I'm gonna be late for a threesome right now. But yeah, anyway, just going back to Fresh and Fit lore here. So our boy is now at a mansion with 45 topless babes, big asses, sodden, dripping vaginas, and every single one of them has his name shaved into their pubic hair, I bet.
So I was like, yo, I like her, and her. He goes, talks to them, calls them over, and I kid you not, I got a bedroom for you over here, do your thing. I'm like, what the heck? Is it that easy? So what happened was, like, I talked to them real quick, they were mad cool, and legit, guys, I could have a threesome with them, but I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I had no idea what was going on. I was like, yo, this is too much for me. But
yeah, too much math for you, man. If you have a threesome, it's with 2 girls, not 3 girls. That's a foursome. You idiot. But hey, Fresh doesn't believe in math. We got to remember this. He doesn't believe in math, guys.
For me to question the math here, but it would have been a foursome, not a threesome. Unless, of course, the 3 girls fucked each other and then told you to just go far away from them, like hide in the bathroom or something.
I didn't think about that one. That's actually a good possibility.
Which I imagine would have happened. Also, he speaks fondly of this event, but I imagine this was one of the worst days of all 3 of those women's lives. Assuming, of course, this story is real, which it's not. I'm just suspending disbelief for a moment. Obviously,
I don't believe it's real either. I do, like I said before in my comment, I believe that he met the Raul Atkins basketball player. I do believe that he could have possibly invited him to a party, but I think everything after that is complete cap, bro. Complete cap.
He is literally making this shit up as he goes along.
What happened was, I did my thing with one of them, came back outside, hopped in the shower real quick, talked to the other one.
So he's looking down and to the left. He's moving around. He's talking a lot with his hands and stuff. This is all indications, man, that he's lying.
Went back in the room later on. So basically, I had 3 girls in one night. It sounds crazy, guys, but there's a whole nother world outside of the regular dating circle where guys of high value can actually like set up certain things that regular guys can't.
What an incredible story. I can't wait for the sequel. Fresh and Fit in the Goblet of Fucking. I don't even understand the title of this video anymore. It's Pull Girls Easily, but doesn't seem like there was anything easy about this. He met someone that claimed to be an NBA player that invited him to a mansion and then assigned 3 women to fuck him. Like, that's not exactly a lesson that can translate to most people. Of course, it's all made up and shit, but the takeaway here is basically nothing.
Go in a house full of whores, go to like the Bunny Ranch in Las Vegas, whatever, and pay for 3 girls, whatever, and you too can have 3 girls in one night.
It's a fucking nothing burger. It's this guy trying to make himself look cool and embarrassing himself.
So translate that into like my own lifestyle. Now from Instagram, I say, you know what?
Here's more cap, guys. This is how Fresh can help you guys do what he did. This part is hilarious.
I can have 3 in one day. Why can't I do it myself? learning from Deals on Demand that you guys are gonna learn if you bought the course. We're gonna re-release it soon, coming up maybe like next month. That whole setup there can be done for yourself through Instagram or dating apps.
How is me buying your course going to help me fuck 3 times in one day? Is the course just that NBA player's phone number for his mansion of sex? Like, there's just nothing you can really teach from this story you've told here.
No.
Nothing translates. There's no lesson. You picked 3 girls that a guy then instructed to have sex with you. And it never happened in the first place. And I hate that I keep suspending disbelief for even a fraction of a second to entertain the idea that this happened in reality, when we all know it didn't. But even still, what is the takeaway? There is nothing that happened in this whole video that could help some lonely guy at all.
You can take L's all your life, you can take W's, but the point here is that like you can have whatever you want in this life. You made that choice. So for me, I was at a point where 3 a day was easily done through Instagram, and that's what I did.
But even in this fantasy, that's not what you did. You didn't set up 3 girls in one day through Instagram or anything like that. A guy did it for you. He fucking told them to have sex with you. You didn't talk to them through Instagram. You didn't get to know them or anything like that.
But okay, here's the reality. I do believe that Fresh tricked. He tricked with 3 girls. He tricked. No, not I'm talking about the mansion party. I'm talking about with the whole Instagram thing. He set up his whole Instagram to look like he's a high value person, you know, having being in front of jets and Lambos and, you know, expensive places and wearing a lot of designer and everything like that. He will message these girls, he'll trick off on them, and he'll massive message all of these girls, whatever, and the girls that are willing to, you know, try to see if they can get something off of him, whatever. Yeah, they're gonna throw him a little. He's gonna just have a bunch of whores, you know. So again, it all goes back to the same question: what is the big deal about sleeping with a bunch of whores? Even if it's 3 whores in one day, that's not something worth bragging about.
Even in their own stories, they can't help but just treat women like objects. Like, yeah, he gave me 3 women to fuck, and that's why I'm the king of Instagram dating. Like, what are you talking about? It's so fucking wild. It's incredibly embarrassing. I don't know how they can post things like this and not feel any amount of shame. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this one, and that's about it.
Yeah, I believe the video is no longer up anymore. So like, this is all you get. You get this video, and then you get this other guy's video on the whole matter. And it's just like this guy right here, Mr. Spencer Cornelia. This guy actually has information about like basketball players and stuff, and he actually pokes more holes in the story than Penguin does. Let's go to it real quick, and then we're gonna weave back. We're gonna weave back to the
a ladies' man.
Oh, sorry.
That's more.
We're gonna weave back to the Matan podcast. So I promise. Don't worry, guys. I got the ship today. We are going to be weaving back.
A little YouTube drama took place last week, and I enjoyed every minute of it. As a channel that covers fake gurus, I love when fake gurus get exposed by larger channels. What Fresh and Fit have done really well is turn their podcast into a trashy Jerry Springer talk show where
There's another person saying that this is a Jerry Springer-esque show. Don't get mad, man. This is just facts, all right? This is not hate. It's just facts.
they confront young women looking to gain some clout, and Myron kicks them out of the podcast. He riles them up with his red pill talk and then kicks them out, proving how worthless women are. Myron and Fresh Prince CEO, his sidekick, are both high-value males, self-proclaimed of course. While the ABBA and Preach drama was going on, I found the entire thing comical because of the fact that people believed Fresh and Fit to be these high-value alpha males in the first place. There was nothing to really expose. Don't believe me? Please go grab some popcorn and get ready to roll out of your seat laughing at this.
Hey guys, it's your boy Fresh Prince CEO, and today we're going to talk about all my W's. Stay tuned for it.
Walter is going to share with us one of his W's, aka a night of romance with multiple women. I want you to tell me when you stopped believing that this story was true.
All right, guys.
As soon as he started talking, it's like, I don't believe anything Fresh says. Any story, any experience, whatever, anything that he has, I'm just like, dude, you don't own it, you rent it, you know? You don't have her, man. You paid for her for the evening, you know? And the only thing I do know is that the baby with Daisy, that was real. I do believe that you got this girl pregnant because you were busting inside of her without a condom with reckless abandon, and then you went quiet because you realized that you fucked up big time. And yeah, you knew that if you said anything, it was just going to make you look like crap. So it is what it is.
So you heard my L's, marrying a single mom, getting left out in the cold, basically in the car, never came downstairs. But today we're going to talk about my W in terms of having 3 women in one day.
This guy, Walter Weeks, goes by his alias Fresh Prince CEO on social media and teaches guys to improve their dating lives. If you're struggling with the women out there, then make sure to watch this video because you're going to get tips on how to land 3 women in one day.
He doesn't even deliver on his premise, unfortunately. Like, he just talks about what happened and how it happened, and then you're left to conclude that, oh, that's not a way to pull a girl easy. It's like, it's just, you just slept with 3 whores. That's all you did.
Can't even say this with a straight face after you watch this entire video.
Now, it sounds crazy, right?
Yeah, only because it's you saying it.
But I was kind of foreign to this idea of having multiple girls in one day because I felt, you know, do the right thing, do the good thing, have one girl I'm talking to, and that's it. But I met this guy at a pool party. He's an NBA player. I won't say his name for some reasons, but, you know, he's a pretty top-tier guy, high-value guy, right?
Top-tier guy. Top-tier 10-day contract, D-League, whatever. Yeah, Rawl. I don't even remember his last name, but yeah, that's the guy.
Walter looks in the mirror every morning, but the NBA player was the first high-value male he saw that day. Walter allegedly attending a pool party in Miami with an NBA player is not that crazy of a thought. Let's see if the story continues making sense.
I'm at the bar ordering drinks for my friends, and he says, yo, bro, what's a good spot to go party at tonight?
The prominent NBA player, whose name cannot be mentioned for certain reasons, asks Walter where the party spots are at. Since Walter has never been around an actual NBA player before, let me fill in the gaps here. NBA players, especially if they're recognizable like this mystery man is, are not hanging out at the bar. Back when I worked for the Houston Rockets, my coworker friend was best friends with Chandler Parsons, and one night I saw them at a bar. For you basketball fans, it was the day after Dame Lillard hit the shot in Chandler's face to win the series. I hung with my friend and Chandler in their bottle service area. At this time, Chandler was a household name and very recognizable. When I was sitting next to Chandler, it was almost overwhelming how many guys were standing around taking videos and asking to buy him drinks. When he went to the bathroom, he needed his friends to surround him, and he bent over to be less recognizable. I say that because NBA players don't hang out at the bar. They can't. And the last thing they're going to do is start chatting up some wannabe ladies man with no girls around him. Let's continue since this story gets even more insane.
So knowing what we know now about the basketball player, him being kind of a nobody still, even though he played for the Chicago Bulls, the point of him possibly being, you know, not as well known, and he saw Walter at the bar, and maybe, I don't know, maybe he saw something in Walter, maybe to have a conversation with him, and then eventually get his Instagram. I just don't see like how that would be a thing. I don't know. It just seemed like maybe Walter made the first step. I don't know. I don't know, because I mean, Walter doesn't watch sports, so I don't know how the interaction even happened, you know. But it happened, and however it happened, it's just one of those things that I can't. It's still very far fetched. Coke Benny says 25 minutes till I'm out. Wait for me. Don't worry, bro. We're waiting for you, man. Not going anywhere, man. We're actually still in a weave right now. To quote Donald Trump, man, I'm in the weave right now. We're about to weave it back to the original conversation, but I had to get more context in terms of this story and how it does not hold up to scrutiny, because the more you hear about it, and then the more you hear about other people and how they have actually had experiences of being around NBA players, they know how they act, and they know that this story is so far-fetched that there's no way that it could have happened from start to finish the way that Fresh has presented it to us.
I told him, look, bro, you can go downtown, you can go to Brickell, Wynwood, doesn't really matter, but I'm going to downtown because it's a really good spot. And then he's like, yo, bro, are you on Instagram?
So apparently that's all it took. It just took him saying, oh, I'm going downtown. You know, if you want to know where the hot spots are at, I'm just going downtown, man. And he's just like, bro, what's your Instagram, man? I get it how, if you're selling a course, okay, if you guys are selling a DMs on demand course and you're basically positioning yourself to be able to help men better their dating situations. That, oh, let me just put in the whole Instagram thing. Let me involve that, so we can I can basically make myself more credible in this story, maybe. But it's well, you can see the sales pitch. You can see the sales pitch before it even happens here.
I was like, perfect. Yeah, I am. So I get my Instagram.
I admire the confidence of Walter for leaving this video up and thinking it's beneficial to his brand. This is hands down the most comical video I've ever seen on YouTube. An NBA player at a Miami pool party is exchanging Instagram profiles with Walter. This story would be comical enough if it ended here, but we haven't even gotten to the part where Walter sleeps with multiple women.
And lo and behold, he followed me. He said, wait, you know this chick? So he pulls up this girl's profile, because you can see who's following someone that you just added from like the following list. I was like, yeah, I know her, bro. I used to like do her back in the day.
Walter sounds like an 8th grader who heard his older brother refer to sex as doing someone. To all the lovely women watching this, how many of you have already realized that this guy is a complete fabrication of a ladies' man? What's more pathetic is this guy and his partner Myron Gaines are seen as the voice of men's improvement on YouTube.
He's like, that's my shorty want to come in town.
Am I hearing a love triangle between a prominent NBA player and Walter?
So basically, we were smashing the same chick. So he's like, yo, dude, you know what? I'm having a mansion party. Like,
so, okay, yeah, we got lies on top of lies here now. So now, not only is Fresh prominent in the Miami space, whatever, in terms of, dating all these girls, he's already established himself as a ladies' man. There are already 2 girls that he found out, oh, we actually are messing around with, whatever, because of, I don't know, maybe because they follow him on Instagram. And now the girl that the basketball player said is coming through, Fresh says that he knows her. Doesn't necessarily mean that he slept with her, but he said he knows her, which, that could be a lie as well.
The next day, come through, I got you.
This NBA player asked him where the parties were at and then was throwing a house party the next day and invited Walter to it because he looked at his Instagram and they were smashing the same chick. If you add up the odds of this actually happening, it would be the same odds of Fresh and Fit winning a boxing match against Preach.
All this time,
I swear, like, this is so convoluted. It's like, God, what's the name of that Star Wars director? J.J. Abrams. It seems like J.J. Abrams wrote this whole thing. It's just so convoluted, and everything is hinging on, and then this happened, and then this happened. It's like he saw my Instagram, he saw that we knew this chick, and then he invited me to the mansion party, and and then this happened. It's just like it doesn't make sense, guys. This is incredible. Not at all.
Time, we linked up the same night at the party spot I was going to. We connected, and funny enough, we dated the same girls, like a bunch of them. It was crazy,
Okay, so multiple girls now. Could this be another lie? So this would be probably the number 3, the third lie in terms of like the group of lies of like, yeah, we slept. He was crazy that we met each other because there was like 2 girls at the beginning that we had slept with, and now I'm going to this party and there's a lot of girls that I recognize. So it's just, I don't believe this, man. I don't believe any of this shit. Exo Charles says, I wonder if Myron believes Fresh's stories. It's so clear that Fresh is a compulsive liar. Well, upon the weave, we're going to go right back to the Matan podcast, and he asked he asked Myron, do you believe him? And Myron stated, yes, I do believe him. I do believe it happened. So, and we don't know if that's true. We don't know. But so remember Fresh and Fit, they whipped out the, what's it called? The lie detector, the polygraph test. They don't do that anymore, because if they did, I would say, okay, Fresh, that whole basketball story thing, is that true? 100%. I'd like to put him under the polygraph and like ask him about that. And then if he somehow is able to like slow his breathing and calm his heartbeat and all that stuff and get through it, I'd be like, okay, so how much did you spend for Paris Banks for when she spent the night with you? And just see like if he's like, see how he weaves his way out of that. If he says that, oh, I didn't pay anything, and if his heartbeat doesn't jump 100 beats a minute. Because I mean, dude, like there's just so much stuff. There's so much stuff that you can catch him on. Do you believe the baby was really yours for Daisy? You know? See how he answers that. There's just so many lies, bro. It's like you could literally write them all down and just go down the line, just watch him just start sweating.
There's the cliche, the fish gets bigger every time the story gets retold. With Walter, the number of women he's with seems to grow every time he shares this tall tale. As you'll see in a minute, Walter has allegedly been with more women than Ellen DeGeneres.
Like I always say, me and Myron, a lot of these girls share the same high value men, and they're around the same circles, right?
It definitely takes circular reasoning to place Walter and Myron in the same social circles with NBA players. Walter and Myron at a Heat game are in the same building as the women who have fun with the players, but they have much different views.
I'm at his management party, right? There's like 40 girls and like 5 guys.
To enjoy some humor together, let's read through some of the comments. These are some immaculate caps. You dropped this King Blue hat. Sounds crazy, right? Yeah, Smoosh Face, it does. Why didn't they have the other one tell this BS? He fakes it better, referring to his buddy Myron Gaines. The cap is so immaculate. Yo, bro, I remember this happened to me. It was 2016 and I was coming out of class and Kylie Jenner came to pick me up. After that, she let me hit her sisters and then I just kept rotating between her and Kim. It was crazy. Even his biggest supporters quickly realized how fake this is. Imagine needing to come up with insane stories to have people think you get laid. Not only is this pathetic, but it's also indicative of just how much of a fake guru these clowns are.
This guy wrote, so this is where it all started, huh? The downfall of the Cap and More Cap podcast. Oh man. Yeah, dude, that's the thing. This is the origin story of Fresh, man. And it's crazy to take it all the way back here after all that we've seen and all that we've talked about. This is one of the origin stories, but you got to understand the reason why this story was set in motion was to establish credibility for Fresh in the red pill space, to make him a credible source to desperate men who wanted to buy his course. You know, the DMs on demand, the course that I can show you how to text girls and set up your own threesomes. I was like, come on, man. And you know, I don't even know how much they were charging back in the day, but I'm sure they got a lot of suckers out of it.
In my head, I'm like, yo, real talk, this is crazy. Like, I've never been at a party where there's been this much girls compared to guys. So I'm like, yo, how's this gonna work? He says to me, yo, come through, bro. So he's like, yo, pick 3 that you want, and I got you.
This sounds like the Bunny Ranch where Dennis Hoff would line up women and allow you to select which one or ones you'd like to have fun with. I think Walter actually attended a fun house and pretended he didn't have to pay for it.
I was like, 3 that I want? Is it like a buffet? Shoot, I'll take it. So I was like, yo, I like her.
Yeah, when you put it into that context, it's very similar to the Bunny Ranch out in Las Vegas. It's literally the same thing. All the girls come out, they're all wearing their outfits, lingerie, whatever, and then you just choose whoever you want. And yeah, they're professionals. They will make you feel comfortable and all that stuff. And yeah, you're gonna have to pay for it. But I don't know. I guess if you leave the part that you paid for it out of the story, it makes you sound pretty smooth.
Her and her. He goes talks to them, calls them over, and I kid you not.
So wait, so the basketball player did all the talking. Fresh basically just stood there. He picked and he just stood there. So I don't understand, how is this like pulling? You're not pulling anybody. You're just requesting. You're selecting.
I got a bedroom for you over here. Do your thing. I'm like, what the heck? Is it that easy?
When the credit card payment goes through, then their job is to make it sound easy. They're very...
The credit card payment. Oh, but I thought Fresh was a salt daddy. I thought he didn't pay anything. He didn't pay for box, okay? This isn't, no, that's not what he does, guys. Fresh has a mouthpiece, all right? And he's very charming, and women just find him adorable.
Experienced handling virgins, and I'm sure they were kind to Walter, making him feel relaxed and comfortable to ensure his first time was memorable. I'm putting out a bounty of $500 for any woman claiming to be one of the 3 at this mythical party to hear your side of the story.
No women came forward. It didn't happen. Did not happen.
So what happened was, like, I talked to them real quick. They were mad cool, and legit, guys, I could have had a threesome with them, but I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I had no idea what was going on. I was like, yo, this is too much for me.
Could have had a foursome with them. That's what you should have said, Fresh. You could have had a foursome with them, but no, you didn't.
This is too much for me. I can't even believe he uploaded this. This video was produced, edited, released, and is still public 7 months later, even with all of the negative comments and how terrible it looks for his brand. At least now people are starting to catch on to how goofy these two clowns are, but shouldn't they try to slow down their brand's death? Keeping videos like this public does not help.
But what happened was, I did my thing with one of them, came back outside, hopped in the shower real quick, talked to the other one, went back in.
Even that, I don't even believe that's believable that he hopped in the shower, because this will bring back another point that I did on my call-in with him. So when I brought up the black lady that had the pink hair, the green dress, and she had some dirt on you, Fresh, she was talking about, oh, I have something that I know about you, but I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get kicked off the podcast. I want to be able to come back. And then they, DJ Academics and Sneeko was there and Fresh was there, and they were basically on this little 45-minute just stopping the show because we need to know what you know. Like, what is it? Just say it. And she's like, no, I'm not going to say it, whatever. Well, Fresh admitted later, which I can bring that up. We can weave back to this. I promise, guys. I got control of all this. We got to also buy time for Coke Benny to get off of work. We're going to weave back. Don't worry. We're going to Reddit, not going far. Okay, so let's go back to my profile because that's where all the fun is. All right. As far as the video, it's the video of Fresh admitting what happened with the girl. He admits it later on the show. And yeah, it's all here. Hold on. Let me find it. Don't worry, guys. We're weaving back. This is all about weaving. I'm teaching you guys how to go from one story to the next. But don't worry, I have videos for everything I ever talk about. And yeah, I know for some people this is like, oh man, this is another tangent. It's not a tangent. It's not a tangent, I promise. We are going to make our way back here.
I'll get apparently they're saying that
not that one.
You a big strong man, you get you a big strong man
of themselves on
men are bad.
Okay, and we're getting closer. We're getting closer. I'm recognizing all of this.
Show. That's a good question.
No here at all. So guys,
hold on.
Just interrupt.
Yeah, we are definitely getting closer now. Keep going. Keep going. It's the part where Fresh talks about the girl. Talks about the girl and
I did not know that
right here.
Bad.
Okay, so when I addressed Walter about the black lady with the pink hair and the green dress, and that she had some dirt on him, she wasn't just trolling for attention. You didn't shower before the show, and your name is Walter from here on out. So here we go.
I did not know that male hygiene was as bad as it is.
Bro, shorty from that show that said, oh, I know something about Fresh. Remember she was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna expose Fresh?
Yeah.
She smelled me that same day. But that's because I just smashed somebody. So it was like, I didn't even know I smelled like sex. I remember. But I did. I was like, oh shit, but they smell, they have like a heightened sense of smell. Females do.
Looks like I smashed somebody.
I was just saying, bro, let's say it.
Yeah,
but she said, like, oh, what is he?
She said you smelled like sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
That's what it was.
It was a long time ago. Old studio.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
But she's
Okay,
like, oh,
okay. I'm over here.
But
Like,
I was like, what is it? Like, I can't figure. It was because of that.
Okay.
But she can smell me from over there.
Yeah.
So Fresh, remember, if you guys remember, Fresh said at the time that she was just trolling and that he explained it on his own stream. It was for like an hour. He's like, you guys can watch. He's like, you can watch it and it's all explained there. But he never said this until this episode. And he said, oh, it was because I smelled like sex. And I'm like, bro, you didn't take a shower? Like, that's not very fresh, you know? And, but yeah, that was that whole thing. So yeah, him saying that, oh, you know, I smashed the girl, I took a shower, and then I smashed another girl. I'm like, I don't even believe that you took a shower, bro, because that's just not in your style, man. That's not what you do. So now we're weaving back. Let's weave back to this this explanation here.
In a room later on, So basically, I had 3 girls in one night. It sounds crazy, guys, but there's a whole other world outside of the regular dating circle.
There is a whole other world. This is a fantasy in your head, Walter. It's all made up.
Where guys of high value can actually like set up certain things that regular guys can't. So translate that into like my own lifestyle. Now from Instagram, I say, you know what? I can have 3 in one day. Why can't I do it myself?
This fool thinks he's going to start pulling 3 women in a single day with his Instagram full of pictures representing a fake lifestyle. Walter paid.
He just had to be shown how to do it. That's all he had to do. Now he can do it on his own.
For press releases, paid for Instagram growth, paid to rent a camera to take the picture in front of a random McLaren and jet, and will pay for whatever his fake guru mentor says to buy.
Learning from Deals on Demand that you guys are gonna learn if you bought the course. We're gonna re-release it soon, coming up maybe like next month. That whole setup there can be done for yourself through Instagram or dating apps. Because for example, all it is a numbers game. So it's all about scale. So with Instagram, you could DM 100 chicks.
This is definitely the worst sales funnel I've ever seen. He creates a fantasy world where even his biggest supporters don't believe him, where he runs into a famous NBA player at a pool party and then has fun with 3 women in
The basketball player wasn't that famous.
one day because of the NBA player, and then
The basketball player was only making $77,000 in terms of his salary. So this whole thing that he was running a mansion party, it just doesn't make any sense either.
promotes the idea that you too can do this from sending women DMs on Instagram.
But the point here is that like you can have whatever you want in this life. You made that choice. So for me, I was at a point where 3 a day was easily done through Instagram, and that's what I did.
Am I missing something, or did whoever write this script completely forget the story? He's now saying you can have 3 girls in one day from Instagram, but his story was from going to a Miami pool party and then an NBA player's mansion party.
Yeah, the complete leap of logic in terms of like, oh, this fell into my lap. I slept with like 3 whores, and now I've pivoted into being able to DM girls on Instagram and set up a threesome now on demand. It's just, it's easy. It's actually really easy. And if you guys listen to me and buy my course, I can show you guys how you guys can do it too.
This man is so awkward. You know everything after his L's is BS. Stop the cap. How does this fool still have this video up? Because it's the only story online of him having success with women. Having a threesome with 3 girls, fresh failed math. Not as bad as he failed the alpha male test after Preach confronted him about a fight. LMAO, bro, what? How you telling men how you did this on IG? You got the cheeks supposedly because of the NBA player. LMAO, too many holes in your story. About as many holes as Walter will put in the target at the shooting range as he prepares to defend himself against all of those mean internet bullies. This cat is regional manager of lids, LOL. What's ironic about the ABBA and Preach beef with Fresh and Fit is it all started over the idea of paying for fun with women. I made a video a few months back reacting to Walter's hilariously bad videos of him paying for women to do a video with him showing that he could pick up women using his Lambo. The cringe was as bad as the 3 girls in one day video. Fresh Prince CEO is hacking the YouTube algorithm by using the tried and true gimmick of trying to show his young male audience an example of a gold digger only wanting someone because of their nice car. What's unfortunate is Walter has since deleted the gold digger prank videos because there was a 3rd video that I wasn't able to make fun of that is now gone forever. What's hilarious to me is he took down the gold digger prank videos, but he kept the 3 girls in one day video up. Number 3, there's a subconscious misogynistic effect on young males who are influenced by the losers who make these types of videos into thinking that women are gold diggers only interested in guys with a flashy car. It's made worse that this guy Fresh labels himself a dating expert, so guys think he's actually good with women. This is so funny now that we found out that Walter is a punk who calls people out to a fight after him and Myron insult him live on air, then backs down. Even funnier is people who somehow believe he's a ladies' man.
You know, like I said, you're man cute, whatever, and like just want to talk to you, you know. So I got you. Yeah, you ever been in Lambo before?
A few times.
A few times?
A few times. But not an orange one though.
Hold on, I got a door for you. I got you. I got you.
I'll leave the link to this video in the description if you want to watch more. It's funny that a lot of people are finally realizing how big of clowns Walter and Myron are, even though it's been obvious for months.
Imagine if Fresh never met Myron and he was just continued on this path of gold digger pranks, and you know, and then the whole genre just completely, you know, died, and then he probably wouldn't be where he would be today. He would be completely just obscure, probably working, you know, 2 jobs, maybe working at Wix, AT&T, or Chick-fil-A, maybe working all 3. Who knows? But it's just funny how luck is really favored Fresh. And people were like, oh, he didn't get there by accident. He worked hard and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, well, he had help. He had a lot of help. Well, we can't discount that. He had a lot of help. The whole 3 girls in one day. He had a lot of help for that. If it even happened. If it even happened, guys. I can't stress this enough that we have to suspend our disbelief that it actually happened, okay? I'm in the camp that it didn't happen.
Perfect product for these two would be something about becoming a high value male, right? The only way left for the normal guy to become a high value man, Fresh and Fit giving away their jealousy guarded secrets for scoring 9s and 10s and more in 2021 while increasing SMV. I wonder if the first 2 steps of their program is to become clowns on camera and to lie about adventures with women. Are you seriously ready to pull 9s and 10s almost overnight? I can't decide if 9s and 10s means the objective number given to the woman they're allegedly dating or the number of women Walter will get with at his next Miami pool party. I'm Myron Gaines and my business partner Fresh CEO. We're 2 guys pulling girls in one of the most competitive markets, Miami, Florida. We run a podcast helping men how to navigate the current sexual market. Our lay count is over the 3 figures. I love you. I love you. Yeah. I can't even take these guys seriously.
Oh man, the juxtaposition of those two, of the statement and then that scene, was perfect.
Seriously, our lay count together is over the 3 figures. I haven't confirmed that this is the count of them together or if it's a combination of their experiences.
Yeah, that was a poorly worded sentence, man. They should have redrafted that whole thing. Instead of saying our lay counts together is over 3 figures, they should have said no. Should have kept that separate, or maybe not even said it.
Myron has triple digit lay count and Fresh has quadruple digit. I'd have a hard time believing that Fresh has a double digit lay count. These guys are corny, fake, and can't even count. Fresh is like Dan Pena and counts the success of others as his own, apparently. He probably walks up to NBA players and asks their lay count so he can use it in his sales copy.
Hey guys, it's your boy Fresh Prince CEO. And today we're going to talk about all my W's. Stay tuned for it.
Ladies watching this, how believable is it that this guy has slept with more than 1,000 women? We need some type of blood test where you can prove if someone is still a virgin, like a blood test for proving if someone is on gear or not. You can have Walter.
Just the polygraph test I'd be fine with, man. Just hook Walter up to a polygraph test on Fresh Roast Friday, and let's just let the haters at him, We'll just put him under it and just have them all ask one question at a time, and just see the Furling polygraph just go crazy. Because, this guy is a compulsive liar, dude. He just cannot stop capping. And it's unfortunate that, he has so many lies that he has to keep up with. And his strategy of like, oh, I'll just leave it there. I don't want to reveal this. I don't want to say, I'll just say, I said too much, That's just the reality. That is the reality of a Fresh's situation.
Go and get checked for one of his blogs. It's likely you've never heard of us though. We've been content to keep a pretty low profile and remain behind the scenes. The rational male Rollo Tomasi has seen us in action.
Name dropping Rollo Tomasi. Come on now.
We haven't heard of you because no one credible promoted you. What Myron and Walter have done is basically take everything the red pill fake gurus say and spit it out on their Jerry Springer show. I can't.
Again, with the Jerry Springer-esque show, man. I mean, some people are not going to take that comment too lightly, man. Some people don't like hearing that, but it's better when I don't have to say it.
Can't even get through this video. Rollo Tomasi has seen us in action. What action are you talking about? Because I know Rollo isn't getting allowed into the Miami nightclubs. Except for our lighting fast growth in YouTube, currently at 22K subscribers with only a few months, we've never tried to promote ourselves, self-aggrandize, and do all that chest-beating nonsense necessary to be a player in the overcrowded guru market. Long story short, I'm going to give you a few cool surprises when you take advantage of the High Value Academy. Yes, they've never done any fake guru stuff like made videos lying about their success with women. Walter specifically has done everything on the fake guru checklist. Myron isn't as bad, but I've seen the Pope with more women. I want to remind you that anyone can make claims on social media and not have to prove anything. What's beautiful to me is when someone gets confronted and their true colors get shown. Abba and Preach.
I guess with Myron, you have girls' allegations of like, hey, maybe they can't come on the show unless they sleep with Myron, because Myron doesn't go outside. He doesn't have a mouthpiece to go and pick up women, so he has to bring them to him in order to collaborate on a podcast, and then he gives them alcohol, lowers their inhibitions, and then that's how he makes his move. So it seems very, very simple. That's his game, and maybe that's also Fresh's game as well. Whereas if you were to, I guess if Myron didn't have all this controversy surrounding him and stuff, and all of the mud that he slung over the internet and stuff, he can't go out and be comfortable. You know, he has to always keep an eye over his shoulder. So yeah, he doesn't go out anymore. He's got to be in the podcast studio, in his house and stuff like that, and just rage baiting all over Twitter and stuff like that. But he can't actually have any. He can't go out and try to pick up women. That's just not how it's going to work for him.
Confronted Walter and Myron, and their true colors were made very public. Walter is a cornball who no one respects. Myron can at least pass off as a guy with some experience with women, but he's not some stern alpha male, and it showed. Entrepreneur and alpha male are two terms so heavily overused on social media right now by guys desperately wanting to be one. There's a saying that's always stuck with me: the rich guy doesn't need to tell you he's rich when he walks in the room. There's a reason Walter and Myron have to remind everyone on every podcast how alpha and high value they are, because you can't fake actions, but you can fake words.
It's funny how Fresh has to remind everybody that, you know, he smashes a bunch of girls, whatever, and Myron has to remind everybody that he's straight.
Now, let's get back to clowning Walter.
I'm a little bit different because when I meet a chick, right, she would never know that I'm RP aware because I move so chill and so cool.
All of these red pill losers think knowing red pill terminology is like a badge on their chest that magically spreads women's legs. I love how Preach saw right through it on the spot.
They're like, when she leaves my presence, she's like, yo, damn, what is that? Because real talk, I'll fuck a bitch, take her to eat some dinner. Her belly's full, she's feeling good. Yo, babe, text me when you get home.
Anyone who speaks like this is not successful with women.
She's like, that was an amazing time. On to the next one. But see, that experience with me was priceless. So she took the moment, bro.
I think Preach deep down was like, this guy is as corny as jokes about my last name.
But if we're being honest, we know that a lot of motherfuckers in this game are liars. I was about to say,
Facts, yeah.
they could
This is a classic episode, Abba on Fresh and Fit.
talk all this stuff. You put them in front of women, is I love you, right? And they look like a comatose patient. So it's just important to see who's really about it, and if they're not, then you need to discard them. We only mess with people that are actually real. If you're not real,
That was ironic. A month ago, Walter continued on with the paid.
Ah, yes. So this is stuff that I've actually said that I've said this in past episodes, that Fresh has basically paid for articles to be written on him being a rising music star in the industry. And, you know, he's a well-known music producer that everybody wants to work with. And yeah, he's just so talented, you know, and yeah, you can hear his music, and you're going to hear a lot more from him. And it's all fluff, man. It's all like he paid these people to basically like get his name out there, so that if you were like, hey, you can Google my name. All right. Google my name. You'll find the articles. And it's just like, it's BS, man. It's like, could you imagine Fresh like putting out music? It's laughable. What do you think about it?
Press releases tour to build up his fake guru brand. Walter Weeks is cementing his name in the music industry. Age 20, Weeks' lyrical prowess and music writing skills are
lyrical prowess is hilarious. That is just it's insane.
exceptional. He is proving to be an excellent songwriter and poet, composing captivating songs. Weeks has also established himself as a music producer, a master of his craft. Weeks' music production skills have resulted in him being one of the youngest sought-after music producers in the US. He is a force to reckon with in the industry and is expected to gain more prominence in the near future.
This would actually be very interesting to bring up to Fresh, you know, about the whole music thing, and, you know, asking him about it, you know, what does he know about it, you know, and why didn't he continue with his music career, just to see what his answer is. And maybe he'll just be like, well, you know, I had a falling out with so-and-so. I'm not going to say their names, whatever. But yeah, it was just something that I decided it wasn't right for me. He'll probably say some stupid bullshit like that, and then he's like, I'll just leave it there, you know, just because he doesn't want to say too much, because it's just like, oh shit, I forgot that I did that. I forgot that I paid those people to write those articles on me to boost my image. You know, I forgot that happened. That was so long ago.
His previously paid press releases introduced him into the game of helping people with a lifestyle and women.
This is more stuff I could add to to the second edition of Why Myron Deserves Fresh.
He basically creates the press release before the grift begins, so my guess is this is signaling his next grift of getting into the music business. His immediate aspirations are to establish a music record label to hone his production skills. He also intends to start producing his own music, and he feels that creating his record label is the right step. Good luck to the artist trying to sign to his label, if it even exists. These guys have a product called DMs on Demand, which is going to show you how to DM the most beautiful women in your city and get them on dates. When I fixed my profile and tapped into that hidden 10% of guys who have status and game, I had the women I dreamed about. The women that I previously thought were way out of my league were now messaging me to hang out with them. The women that once rejected me for not being interesting and having a high value lifestyle now wanted to be friends with me. And the women who are attracted to the top 10% of guys were now begging me for alone time together. With all of these amazing women Myron is dating, it's amazing that he doesn't have any receipts on his Instagram page.
This is like, you would, just looking at this, you'd be like, oh yeah, this guy's gay. Look at him. Like, this guy's pretty gay.
It's funny that the screenshots proving that this system works includes what is insinuated to be Myron's DM inbox, which no proof is provided, so that's flaw number 1. Flaw number 2 is that blue checkmark girls are not DMing a guy like Myron who has very little clout in the social media world. Flaw number 3 is that I've never seen an inbox look like this. Flaw number 4 is the dates don't align. From top to bottom, the dates are 14 hours, 3 weeks, 8 weeks, 1 week, and 1 week. They aren't even in chronological order, so clearly this is a fake image.
Coke Benny has entered the chat. Welcome back, my friend. Yeah, dude, we made it, man. I told you. We're in the middle of a weave, dude. We're gonna weave back to the original podcast with Matan, but I just had to establish that the holes in the story that Fresh has with this whole NBA story is just it goes so deep, and it was something that I didn't really touch on, but you know, I'm touching on it now, and this is something that, you know, we can at least say that we covered it.
Proof that their system works is a clearly photoshopped image. What would be funny is having Myron show his Instagram DMs live on the podcast, but we all know why he would never do that. Or maybe we do know what would happen. Thanks to Kevin Ray Wilder for making this video.
Okay, now put up Myron's.
No, hell no.
Yes.
No.
Put up Myron's.
No, man. No. We're not doing this.
I gotta see.
No.
Put up Myron's. Put up Myron's.
See, what Fresh doesn't realize is that he's exposing Myron right now for not having an Instagram that is, you know, what he claims it to be on the DMs on Demand. So he's like, bro, no, if we show that, then I'll be exposed. So and Fresh is too dumb to realize what he's actually doing right now.
Chris, put up Myron's.
Chris, don't do it.
Put up Myron's, bro. Put a content. Put content. Put up Myron's. Yes.
We're not doing it.
Yes.
We're not doing it. We're not.
What the fuck is Fresh wearing? I don't even remember this. This is like, what is it, like a blue sweatsuit? This is the weirdest. It looks like he's straight out of the 80s.
Doing it. So let's.
Why? Are you scared?
No, it's not that I'm scared, bro.
I mean, you're the.
This is the perfect ending to this video. These
Damn.
girls were reviewing Walter's Instagram and absolutely roasting it. One even said he looks like a scammer. After Walter was abused live on air, he said it was Myron's turn. Myron shut that down quickly, knowing that any criticism from women would have destroyed the facade that he has blue checkmark women sending him DMs. Just a reminder that these guys teach men how to have success with women and how to set up your profile for attracting women on Instagram.
The entire house of cards would have come crumbling down if Myron's Instagram would have been exposed. And the fact is, now these guys have they've been banned off of Instagram, so they no longer have to worry about anybody seeing any of that evidence. It actually works out pretty well. So Christopher the S Hewley 1996, 666 subs. That's a Hellraiser sub, bro. I know it was. I remember I spoke to the guy that subscribed to me today, but I was speaking to him on Instagram, and because he had messaged me, and I was like, "Hey, man," because he read the book. And he's like, bro, that was fucking hilarious. And I was like, man, I appreciate it, dude. Appreciate you taking the time. And he's like, yeah, man, I went ahead and subscribed too. And I was like, hey, man, I'm doing Instagram. I'm doing a live stream tonight at 11:45. And I hope to see you in the chat. And yeah, man, so he went ahead and subscribed, and he was the 666 subscriber. So yeah, everything you say about me is true, guys. We're hateful evil people over here. Okay. I was hoping anybody that wants to view this video, if you guys could click that subscribe button and get me out of this Hellraiser sub. You know, get us above 666 by the end of this video, because man, this is, yeah, it's definitely not you know, I'm from the South, okay? So if we see anything, even things that we buy, products that we buy, and they're priced at 666, we avoid it, you know? Or if our total receipt is 666, we go buy like a stick of gum, or we go buy a can of Coke or something to make it a little bit more, so we don't have to worry about seeing that number, because Southerners, we're freaked out by that number. But yeah, weird superstitious out here. But yeah, I thought it was pretty funny.
Instagram. Don't you think having women talk about your Instagram would be ideal for promoting how good it is? What's beautiful about that moment is that they were confronted live and couldn't answer. I bought a 24-pack of popcorn the other day because the drama with Fresh and Fit has just begun. What's unfortunate is how influential they are on impressionable young men who look up to these guys. You can't possibly watch their content and think that they love women. They literally bring women on their show to cause a scene so they can kick them out. Fresh and Fit creates entertaining content for a certain group of people. If you're looking to learn how to become a man or improve with women, then I would highly suggest finding a guru who has receipts or who doesn't make videos lying about getting with 3 women in one day. What's ironic about Fresh and Fit is they claim they're now no longer participating in drama, even though their entire platform was built on trashy drama. And since we know they're fake gurus, drama is the only thing bringing people to their show. I think my bag of popcorn is done in the microwave. I'm ready for the next explosion of drama fireworks to happen. Thanks for watching.
Shout out to this guy, man. This guy, his name is Spencer Cornelia. Yeah, I remember coming across this video when I was doing research for the entire stream. So, but yeah, Chris the S Hewley, 1996. Welcome to the stream, man. I appreciate you joining us. So now we're weaving back. Okay, we're weaving back to the original video here. So let's keep going.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna play a hypothesis game real quick. You would lie because it just seems like not a super important thing to lie about, but then when the most critical or whoever...
Why is Myron putting on his hood and just like, I don't understand why he's putting on his hood right now.
said it was a lie, then if you admitted it was a lie, then you look ridiculous. But if you continue to say it was true, you can convince whoever is probably some in the middle or favoring you to believe it, and you don't get 100% of the loss.
So when I cover what happened and I repeat the story,
well, you won't even tell me who the basketball player is. You're being super. Who is the player?
Hold on, I bring him onto the podcast.
Okay.
And they still don't believe it. I don't know what to do at that point.
Yeah, well, the only thing you could do, Fresh, is tell us who the basketball player was. Now that we know who the basketball player is, it actually just it makes sense. Okay, it makes sense that the guy was kind of low status, not really well known, only made about $77,000. And yes, you probably did meet him at a bar. He probably was having a party, a house party or something like that. But it probably, after that, all the lies can just go wherever it wants. It probably wasn't a mansion. There probably wasn't 3 women that he told you to pick and stuff like that. And you didn't you didn't do any of that. Like, that's just, it's all a lie. David, welcome to the stream. Hello, dude. Good to see you, man. Yeah, bro. We're trying to get through this whole thing about the lie that started it all. The basketball story, Fresh basically meeting this guy and him inviting him to a mansion party where he slept with 3 girls in one day. I didn't put this in the book for good reason, but this was definitely something that I'm now thinking about putting in the the King James version. We won't have to wait 400 years for it to come out. It might be coming out pretty soon. But yeah, this was definitely something that he can't reveal. I mean, now he's in a point now where, like, okay, we can't go back and we can't look at the DMs. We can't check out his Instagram or anything like that because he's banned and stuff like that. So it's up to us to really piece things together and find out the holes in the story. There are going to be people that are going to ride or die for Fresh, and they're going to say, look, this happened so long ago. Why do you guys even care? It's 2025. You either love Fresh and Fit or you hate Fresh and Fit. I'm like, it's not about love or hate. It's just about facts, okay? If someone is lying to you, you should care about that. It doesn't matter if it happened 3 years ago, or if it happened yesterday, or if it's still currently happening right now. You should care if someone is lying to you. And if you can actually prove it by studying behaviors, studying stories, timelines, stuff like that. I mean, I'm all about getting down to business and trying to figure out, oh, okay, so you said this 5 months later, but you didn't realize that it actually contradicts what you were standing on, you know? So, do we just have to wait? Do we have to wait for him to be like, okay, well, okay, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that because now I need to scrub this from the internet because now I fucked up and I said something I wasn't supposed to say because before I was being like, it was this way. But yeah, Coke Benny, you're right. He won't say it on camera. And you know what? That's the strategy. That is the strategy. The less you say, the less chance of you getting hung up on your words or getting caught in a lie.
If you brought the player onto the podcast, how is that actual evidence that the story is?
And he never brought the player on the podcast. I think I need to let you guys know he never brought the player on the podcast. I don't recall. All I remember is him calling him on the phone, which I showed that video earlier. If you guys didn't see that, you guys can go back. It was a short where he said, actually, yeah. I don't want to weave off of that because we got to stay back on this. We only have till 3 a.m. and we have less than 15 minutes to get through this, and we have more than 15 minutes of the video to get through. But yeah, if you guys go back in the video, I showed that video of him calling the basketball player. He could have texted him off screen and said, hey, bro, I'm getting pressed right now on this Friday call-in show. I need you just to agree with everything I'm saying, and I will cash app you at the end. That's all I said. I believe that is probably the biggest truth.
It's true.
Okay, what player is going to come on a show and lie just for me?
Who is the player? And then I will...
If you pay him, he will. And he wasn't a prominent Chicago Bulls basketball player. He's actually playing for the Israeli basketball club now. And yeah, he wasn't playing for them that long. And nobody knows who he is.
If you told me it was Michael Jordan, I would believe you. But is this like Patrick Beverly?
He doesn't play anymore.
Who is the guy? Who is this?
You know what? Just for clickbait, go to my channel, Fresh and Fit.
Ask why Fresh can't tell you the name. Why can't Fresh tell you the name? Is it because he doesn't remember? Or because people will realize, oh, crap, like this is all bullshit. The more information he gives you, the more evidence you will find that, oh, this is all bullshit, because like I told you, even in like the first couple minutes of me digging for information, I found that there's an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air called The Basketball Game and then The CEO. Those are 2 episodes, I guess, that were like in season 5, I believe. And yeah, so they said that Will Smith, he plays the character of the CEO that meets the basketball player, and the basketball player is a Chicago Bulls player, Dennis Rodman, and he introduces him to 3 girls. And it's almost like Fresh Prince CEO having this persona. I'm sure he probably watched Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna add that to my story of me meeting this no-name Chicago Bulls player, and I'm just gonna weave it all back to my Instagram DMs on Demand's course, and we're gonna make money. So, I mean, that's where I'm at right now.
Is there?
I will think about linking it if you tell me who the player was. Just tell who was the player. You tell me.
You got to go find out, man.
There's Myron being freaking loyal to a fault, man. Having Fresh's back. Fresh has already said, go watch the video. But that means you got to dig through fucking videos now. Because you can't just type in Fresh and Fit basketball story. I did that earlier in the stream. You guys saw what happened. It pulled up both of those videos that weren't from Fresh and Fit. And it was just that guy criticizing Fresh and Fit and then the Penguin video. So it's just like there's no trace of it.
A light tube, who knows?
A what?
Maybe it's a light tube.
Did you interview him?
Oh, there we go. Fresh finally hold on right here. Fresh finally had a little bit of moment of consciousness though. He just said, hey, maybe it's a lie too.
Think about linking it if you tell me who the player was. Just tell who was the player. You tell me.
You got to go find out, man.
Maybe that's a lie too. Who knows?
A what?
Maybe it's a lie too.
Did you interviewed him?
Notice that whenever Fresh lies, he blinks. Okay? I want you to look at his eyes right here. I'm going to play it one more time for you guys. When he says maybe that was a lie too, watch his eyes. It's very, very important. Watch this.
You got to go find out, man.
Maybe that's a lie too. Who knows?
A what?
That eye twitch.
Did you interviewed him?
Maybe it's a lie.
No, that part is real.
He twitched both times when he said maybe it's a lie. Maybe it's a lie too. And he twitched both times when he did it. So yeah, that's a nervous tick. It's a nervous tick that, you know, it's his personal tell that he is lying.
Well, anyways, I'll take your word for it that it's true.
Now he's trying to take, like, he's trying to act like he's just looking at this guy again. He keeps going back to, like, trying to divert attention back to this guy in the center that's playing Hector Salamanca. He's completely enthralled and just playing this confused character of, like, who is this guy? What is his deal? And why is he looking the way he's looking? And he's just kind of completely disengaging from the conversation. And it's like, it's his way of deflecting without having to actually deflect.
He's breathing heavy, bro.
If you were to eventually have kids, would you rather them go to school or play on the iPad all day?
Okay, so I want you to listen to how Fresh answers this. This is actually really, this kind of shows you that Fresh has porn brain, because he definitely does a lot of viewing of that.
It's a tough question, man.
Why is that?
Because the iPad, they can watch porn.
There it is.
Yeah, but you could put the control thing. There's some applications you can help block out certain websites. Why would you be concerned that your 8-year-old's gonna watch porn?
Well, first of all, there's also browsers you can use to bypass that.
See, Fresh, only Fresh would know stuff like that and completely just drive this point that, oh no, it's like, I don't want the kids to be on the iPad because they're just going to watch that. And there's way for them to bypass it if I put parental controls on. It's like, Fresh, come on, man.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like an 8-year-old.
And VPNs. Dude, they're smart, bro. They're super smart.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think most 8-year-olds know what that even is. I mean,
You'd be surprised.
That's something that you've like dealt with.
No, I'm just saying, America's crazy, bro.
I don't know. I didn't know that was a thing. But have you considered doing Fresh and Fit in Russia, where instead of roasting women, you fight them in a cage?
We thought about doing it in Poland.
Poland?
Yeah.
Why Poland?
Warsaw's pretty cool.
Also, you know, Lil Yachty made a song.
Yeah, I heard that, but why would that?
Because
you guys film in Miami? Yeah. Is that for tax reasons or why is that?
How old are you again?
17.
What you know about taxes?
I'm not really a big fan of paying them and stuff. But I turn in a report. I haven't yet. Anyway, I don't want to
don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Poland's nice.
I would count. I'm gonna.
Why Miami?
I'm gonna have to count that as a what the fuck. So now we're up to 10 what the fucks. I've been keeping track of how many times Fresh has said what the fuck. He's already said it 10 times in 30 minutes.
Is that where you picked?
Because that's where we live.
You guys were born in Miami?
No.
Where were you born?
New York City.
Barbados.
Oh, New York?
Yeah.
Why did you move to Miami?
Why is he moving?
Well, nice weather, hot girls, good tax benefits, no state income tax, good place to be.
So taxes is part of it.
A part of it. Was part of it, yeah.
What type of benefits do you think the government will have with an epic gamer like Elon in charge? He's super cool, the coolest guy.
You said epic gamer?
Yes.
Well, apparently he's not as good as he says.
What do you mean?
David said, Fresh exposed yet again. He has the gift that keeps on giving. I know, bro. That's the thing, man. And people are just like, dude, you hate Fresh so much. Why do you keep talking to him? I'm like, bro, I don't have to like hate on him, bro. It's just like he just freaking, he does it to himself, man. He just does it to himself.
Osmongold like put some videos and a bunch of gamers saying that he's not as good as he says he is.
You're saying he's lying about being good at the games? Like he lied about sleeping with the basketball players' girlfriends?
I love it how Matan is completely just dismissed Fresh completely.
Well, there's a potential that he might not being honest about how good he is with the gaming.
What story to you is more believable?
Definitely the NBA one is more believable.
Do you believe Elon is as good as the games as he says he is, or do you think he's lying? Stop making noise.
I don't think so.
Oh, you think he's lying?
Yeah, I don't think he's as good as he says he is.
Why do you think he?
Because to
he
be
does
a good gamer, like to the level he was saying, like you got to play all day. You got to be really good, and you got to be competing at a high level. I used to play games at a semi-professional level, so I kind of.
Which games did you play?
It was way before.
Here we go. We can talk about his rowing team because he can't go anywhere without talking about his rowing team.
For your time, Halo 2.
Halo 2. Do you still play video games or no?
Oh, he's talking about the video games. Sorry, I thought he was going to talk about his rowing team in college.
I played Overwatch at a high level too, but I kind of stopped.
Did you get paid for it, or you were just high in the ranks?
High in the ranks.
What was your level there?
On Overwatch 1, I reached Grandmaster, in top 500. And then on Overwatch 2, I hit Master.
So you still play with them? Because that came out like 2.5 years ago.
Overwatch 2 or Overwatch 1?
Overwatch 2 is a pretty recent game.
Yeah, I stopped playing it a few months ago.
And you haven't substituted that with the new game?
I thought about Marvel Rivals, but like, I don't know.
What about you? Do you play any video games?
League of Legends.
League of Legends? That's what you play?
He plays League of Legends and Smash Bros.
Okay.
Yo, this nigga needs some lotion, bro.
What do you mean?
He's dry.
Fresh has such a goldfish brain, man. Just lock in, dude. Lock in and just get through this interview.
Ashy as fuck, bro. He's white.
My manager, Var Flooring?
No, this nigga right here.
Your friend?
Bro, this is the nigga right here, bro.
I don't know who.
You play games now, nigga. All right, cool. You funny.
Let's continue, please.
Ashy and you're white, though. That's weird.
That is rare. That is very rare. Hey, can one of the Taliban niggas in the back get some lotion for this guy, bro? Hey, man.
Put the lotion in the basket.
Yo, can we get this guy on camera behind that? Like, his getup is hilarious. He had a Taliban mask on.
Your security guard guy here?
No. The Muhammad guy that's here.
I only see one guy behind the camera, security guard guy.
Okay.
What do you think should be the punishment or reward for the first person to get banned on Rumble?
Impossible.
Yeah, it's really impossible. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're on the Fumble Rumble Reject Squad, it's pretty. There's really nothing you can do to get banned off of Rumble, and yeah, that's going to be the safe haven for them. They can continue doing their podcast until nobody else watches. So yeah,
that's the question. That's the whole sell of the website. So when it happens, should they be like executed, or should they be given some money prize, or how do we do it?
The award is being reinstated.
There you go.
Yeah, but that's not really a reward. It's kind of, that's the punishment. So what should be the reward?
you continue working for pennies.
Getting reinstated, I would say.
I know we went over.
Or a trophy where you were so banned you got banned off Rumble.
And so what is that? Just, I mean, well, let's move on.
Okay.
What the fuck?
What happened?
How many did you write?
Questions?
Yeah.
I have a lot here. I mean, we're mostly done with it because I have to get ready for long neck coming in soon.
Long neck?
Yes, long neck. I'm shooting with him after you guys, probably in like 10-15 minutes.
Wait, he's real?
Long neck?
Yeah.
You guys have never met him?
No.
He's on Instagram. He's doing those videos where he's hanging off the. You know the videos where those guys go on tall buildings in like New York or Dubai and they jump, they do parkour?
Yeah.
He fell. That's why he looks the way he does. So now people just found a hold of him and took his phone. So they're in control of his Instagram and they're swinging him side to side across the buildings.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, your studio setup is amazing, bro. This is a nice.
Yes.
Studio. How much it costs to make all this stuff?
This is in my space. I'm just using this while it's, like squatting here. But the actual equipment itself, maybe like 10 plus 10 plus 10 is like 80.
What's his name?
Var Flooring, my manager.
No, the guy right here.
Your friend Myron?
All right, let's move on, bro.
I think you're seeing someone. The coconut must have made some serious damage. What sort of advice would you give to someone who has been watching your content for years but has gained thousands of pounds and lost money they didn't have?
I'd put them in a concentration camp
Why? How could that help them?
so they can lose weight and concentrate and not being a fat piece of shit.
Also, more like a concentrate camp.
No. Like, yes, concentration.
But like not killing them or anything. Or are you killing them? I mean,
No, we're killing the fat.
So what would you do in the concentration camp? I mean, that sounds easier said than done. It's like, what would you do with a fat person? He's like,
Cookmany says, "Who is that guy?" Are you talking about the guy in the middle? The middle is supposed to be, he's cosplaying as Hector Salamanca from Breaking Bad. And then the guy on the far right he's playing the manager of Matan. So
I put him in a fat camp and lose the weight.
Yeah. So we would force them to exercise, force them to, eat correctly.
What if they don't eat correctly?
if you don't know the guy in the middle, yeah, he was one of the main bad guys in Breaking Bad. He was also in Better Call Saul too.
What if they sneak a bag of Cheez-Its or a coconut?
There's punishment for that.
What type of punishment?
Gulag.
The gulag? Is
Yes.
this what you're recommending?
Yes.
Okay. Let's say legally, like legal stuff that we could do, like current America.
Well, okay. So if I was the president?
No, if a fan came up to you
Yeah.
and he was as big as this room.
Yep.
I mean, he has a normal sized head. I'm just trying to imagine it now. He's as big as his room. He's a big round ball of fat.
Yes.
How would you help him?
Well,
You're in the position you are now. You're not the president.
I'm not the president?
No, you are right now. In this
Okay, so he
exact
comes up to
moment.
me and he's fat.
Yes.
He's been watching the content.
Oh, the interviewer, that's Matan. Matan Even. He used to be, I think he was called the Bill Clinton kid. He's like 17. He's like this guy that he called out a bunch of OnlyFans girls and stuff, and he went kind of viral. And he did kind of like the podcast rounds when like Zerka was making the podcast rounds. And I remember he did one episode where he asked one of the OnlyFans girls to name 5 books. I think it was maybe 5 books or 3 books. And I think the first thing she said was like Game of Thrones. And then yeah, he was just like, "Don't you mean A Song of Ice and Fire?" So yeah, it was kind of funny. But yeah, he's one of those guys that he's very dry, but also he doesn't break character. He doesn't smile. That was one of his things. So he's a very mature kid for being so young.
Yeah, he's your biggest fan. He's been watching for years.
Yeah, so I would take him under my wing and I'd train him to not be a fat piece of shit.
But how would, again, that's just like, I would send him to a fat camp and lose the weight. How would you do that?
Okay, so number one, we'd control his calories.
What if he starts eating?
I'd watch everything he eats.
You would spend 24/7 with this guy?
I'd probably have to put him in a cage or something so that I could feed him myself.
Okay, so I'll assume that he signs off and he allows it.
Yes.
What if he starts eating his arms?
Well, then I'd have to stop that.
How can you do it? He's doing it while you're sleeping.
I'd have to hire someone to watch him at night.
But he's not paying you for this. As I said, let's just get on to the next issue he's having, because I feel like we're going in circles here.
Okay.
He also lost money he didn't have. How would you help him with that?
We would help him make money.
How would you do that? You
Well-
guys sell a course?
No.
Oh, that's good. Go ahead.
Yeah, we'd figure out what his skill set is and then leverage that.
So that whole selling courses, DMs on demand and stuff, all of that stuff is dead. They don't do it anymore. Anybody that still pays them for courses, they will refund them.
Make some money.
I mean, he has no skill set, and he's like breathing heavy. He's a round ball of shit.
Yeah, then we would have to get him to lose the weight first.
You fucking fat piece of crap. Pooh! Fucking shame on you.
What the fuck?
Sit down. Sit down. You're coming on the podcast and eating. Eating and eating.
What the fuck is going on over here, bro?
That's another what the fuck. So we're up to 11 now.
This is an interesting dynamic between you and your manager.
Yeah, but you see what he does? He comes in here eating and gaining weight. Pooh!
Well, he made a noise.
I mean, he's not mute. He just does whatever he wants. I mean, I guess he's just not interested in talking to you guys.
Okay.
Sorry, I got excited there.
What happened?
I just got excited. You hit the table, so I said I want to hit it too.
Oh, you guys put a hole in it. Let me replace the table.
Okay.
What the?
Another what the fuck? We're up to 12 now, guys.
Is that a brick?
The fat slob is what you are.
All right, we
Yeah,
gotta
there's definitely a hole in it.
we gotta fast
You
forward
hit
this.
a little too hard.
Watch it at 1.5 because we're already 6 minutes over. Oh yeah, the water guns. I forgot all about this.
Yo, what's up with this nigga though, bro?
Sorry, we're gonna replace your tables.
This fucking guy, bro.
Oh man, great thing about being young, man. You can just do all this. Coke Betty says, "Is this recent?" Yes, this is very recent. This is if you look up Matan, even it's like at the very top. He's just doing everything that every person has ever wanted to do if they had a squirt gun and Walter Weeks is in the same room. It's just spray him.
Yeah.
He can't. Walter can't do anything but laugh too. He can't do nothing.
Fucking fat piece of shit. Okay, please go back to your seat.
And then he sprays the seat. Oh man, that's good stuff.
You wet as shit, bro.
Please go back to your seat.
Okay, got you. I got you.
No, you can't switch the seats. It's gonna mess up the studio space.
What the fuck is going on, bro?
Where's our water guns?
Yeah, where's that water
Give
gun?
us our water guns so we can fucking. This could be fair.
It's a 2 for 3 at 7.
No. We need some water guns too. This isn't fair.
No, we don't have any more. That's it. And even if I did, I certainly wouldn't give them to you.
What the fuck?
I was almost done, but now you've reinstated the attack. Okay, please sit down. Coconut. I'm done spraying you, but
He keeps spraying the seat.
Can you stand over there? You're in the middle shot.
Thank you. That was... Why is there a brick on your fucking mic?
That's the mic holder. Can you take your hoodie off? Because now we're going to play a game where you guys... Please take your hoodie off. We're going to play a game now where you guys have to be honest or there's a punishment. So we're going to go over some of the questions from earlier and I'm going to hope to get a better answer. Why were you fired from the federal government?
I told you that already.
He's right in his face. That's
Can we
awesome.
try again?
Oh, that's another what the fuck.
Yo, what the fuck, man?
Another what the fuck. Another
So
what
he's
the
able to take it like
That was
a man.
2.
You guys have to have some forbility in how...
Nah, nigga, I don't shower, nigga.
I can...
All right, so Fresh says he doesn't shower. That actually contradicts his story earlier when he said that he had slept with that one girl at the mansion party, then he took a shower and he did it again. So does he shower? Does he not shower? And then we know with the girl with the pink hair, green dress, she said he didn't shower. He just went straight to the studio after having sex. So it's not very fresh to do that. But he just admitted that he doesn't shower. So there we go.
It's a mallet, I'm right next to you, but...
I know, bro. I don't shower, nigga.
Okay, I won't spray you unless you get an answer wrong, so take the hoodie down.
Okay.
And because I want you to talk into the mic also. Okay, what would be so impressive about sleeping with that prostitute, even if that story was real? Is the story real?
Good question. Good question.
Is the fun part.
Was the story real?
The activity is...
David said, Fresh has no vocabulary which is why he comes out with what the fuck, ladies. Final thoughts. He's just dumb as a box of rocks, bro. I know, man. With a limited vocabulary, I can't even say it. Limited vocabulary. I'm like getting to the point now where I'm like crashing out now. He has a limited vocabulary. You know, he has a goldfish brain. He can't focus. And anytime he tries to make a deep point, it just falls flat on itself. He ends up confusing more people than he does inspiring people. And yeah, I mean, maybe he should have just remained quiet. You know, if I hadn't have like gone on the call-in show and told him, hey, you need to speak up more, you need to contribute more, we wouldn't be in this space. So I feel like I'm partially at fault for Fresh acting the way that he feels like he has a fire up his ass now that he has to contribute, when it was so much better. I didn't realize it was so much better when he just shut the fuck up.
The boss. Okay, you said a hooker, right?
Was the story real?
It's not accurate.
Was the story real?
Because it's not a hooker. It's actually.
If you
It wasn't a hooker? Okay, so what was it, Fresh?
if you don't answer the questions, punishment is coming.
Nigga, his story's real, bro.
Try again, please.
His story's real, bro.
Why are you peeing your pants?
I like how they're just submissive. They're just taking the abuse now.
Well, it seems like I'm not gonna get any. Oh, one more. Wait, let me stand here. Wait. Look into the mic.
Yeah.
Stop. Enough.
Okay. No more water.
I shorted it in.
No more water.
Sit down. I'm not done with the interview.
No more with the spraying.
You need to sit down.
No more spraying.
No more with the spraying. No more with the spraying.
Sit down, please. Right there.
He's spraying Myron's seat now.
Shoot, go.
Because Blognik is here. We have to end the interview because Blognik is here. Okay.
What's it? What's
Was
the
the story with the coconut a troll?
Yes.
Why is he lying? He knows the punishment is coming.
Alright. That's enough. That's enough with the water. That's enough with the water.
This nigga, bro.
Oh
shit. Don't play, bro. There you go. Stop lying, man.
Yeah.
Stop lying. What the fuck? What a great interview. What a great interview. Oh, shit. Don't play, bro.
Shout out to our guy Alan in the back, man.
But that's it. We have Blognik coming in, so thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no worries.
Man. Appreciate it, bro.
Shout out to Matan and the great interview of doing this. This was good. You know, I think this was a much needed interview. I mean, it was a lot lighter. It was still heavy on some certain points, but it was lighter in terms of tone. And I mean, I appreciate that he brought out the water guns and just, you know, completely soaked them for every time he felt like they were lying. It was good. Exo Charles came back. He says, Fresh has to accept the disrespect. He can't do anything. It's true. Matan is like 17 years old, man. He's a little kid. And it wouldn't be right. Fresh being in his 30s trying to beat up a 17-year-old kid. So yeah, good stuff, guys. Good stuff. So yeah, that's all I got for tonight. I do want to thank everybody for joining me for tonight's stream. This was definitely something I wanted to get through. We are right at the 3-hour mark. I do want to express anybody that has found me for the first time, make sure that you guys take the time to subscribe to the channel, get me out of the 666 subscribe count. And I'll see you guys next week. And we're going to talk about whatever's going on. So you guys have a good evening. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys on the next one. This is Camp Hustle 1 out.